is very wrong. Tuning into Megan and Tug. Depo drop, what the fuck? It's harassment, defamatory, and pecuniary. Big words, but Megan is your dictionary. Megan and Tug almost breaks down laughing. Fox and umbrella, content drowning and splashing. Pecuniary! Bubbles wants to ask the questions. Shock it slams with good objections. Jeremy hitting with logical reasoning. Forces Bubbles through unquestionable weaseling. Bubbles acts like a broken record. Jeremy stands his ground like an expert. Judge or jury will determine the facts. That's confidential, oh snap. It's harassment, defamatory, and pecuniary. Big words, but Megan is your dictionary. Megan and Tug almost breaks down laughing. Fox and umbrella, content drowning and splashing. Pecuniary, pecuniary, pecuniary. Bubbles wants to ask the questions. Shock it slams with good objections. Jeremy hitting with logical reasoning. Forces Bubbles through unquestionable weaseling. Bubbles acts like a broken record. Jeremy stands his ground like an expert. Judge or jury will determine the facts. That's confidential, oh snap. It's harassment, defamatory, and pecuniary. Big words, but Megan is your dictionary. Megan and Tug almost breaks down laughing. Fox and umbrella, content drowning and splashing. Poor Jeff was left all on his own, cause Megan had Tug on the phone. Something urgent did pop up, but Jeff joins the stream and they're all made up. Now the trio on stream outstanding. So reading, continuance demanding. Just a couple of pages or maybe 10, but it all continues on Tuesday again. It's harassment, defamatory, and pecuniary. Big words, but Megan is your dictionary. Megan and Jeff almost breaks down laughing. Fox and Vice is content drowning and splashing. Content Krampus, Megalodonus, meat sweats begging Megan. Professional.
Well, late professional, but professional nonetheless. I love that song, and I love that Jeff is in it, and I'm gonna miss him every day. But hi guys, how are you? Sorry we're late.
Yes, late professional. I actually didn't want to start on this for a minute, so I mean, it was just like you know we're gonna be a little late anyway. I mean that happens, but when we
Today
got
was
here,
particularly bad because I'll tell you why. So it all started when I realized I'm fat, and I got on the scale and was horrified to see that it's going in the wrong direction. And so I have decided, no, that's not happening again. So the last 2 days I've been getting my fat ass up and going to the gym in the morning. So I went today, but I got distracted and I realized it was 12 o'clock and I still hadn't left the gym. And I was like, oh crap, I still have to go home and take a shower. And then I can't have my hair dripping down my neck. I had to dry it somewhat. My hair takes over an hour to dry. So I gave it like 15 minutes, but that's all I had. And then otherwise it would be dripping down my neck the whole stream. And ew. Sorry, I can't. But that's the story.
I thought you were going to tell us you got distracted, like, blow drying your hair, and you'd been there for 4 hours doing it.
No, actually, I was texting with Flux. I was done with my workout. I was just sitting in the locker room texting Flux.
That's hilarious.
I know. I know.
I've got to show off something that's kind of cool. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up here. I want to give a shout out to Kim, by the way. She sent us something, and it takes me a hot minute to go over to my P.O. box. I have to.
Oh yeah, this is so cool.
Yes.
This is so cool. So by the way, Tug and I have come up with a great workaround for me not having a P.O. box, which is if you're desperate to send me something, just send it to Tug and he'll send it to me.
Yeah, I'll just mail it over. It'll be fine.
Because his doorbell reloads and I feel too, I don't know. I just feel like too weirded out by it.
Yeah.
but Tug
Yeah, she
doesn't.
said that we had this talk about that, and she was like, I don't want anybody really like anywhere near where I'm at. I'm like, have they come here before? You know, I mean, that's just they don't want to come to the house here. They really don't want to do that.
Like even driving an hour away to a PO box, like it's not far enough for me. Like
Ugh.
it's
I'm gonna go and live
Tennessee
down the
is
road.
just right.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds far enough. So this came in
Oh wait, let me
the
pull it up.
mail.
Hold on, it's not on the screen. Oh my God, shut up.
Isn't that amazing? Now there's a package in here. Kim sent one to you as well. I'm guessing it's this. I haven't opened it. I did not open it. It's not my package, so I didn't open it. But this was in here. Oh my God, look at that. The little blue bucket. The turtle toilet just
So
filling
funny.
up.
Is there a little turtle inside there?
Yeah, it's got a little pink turtle that's attached to
That's
it.
gonna look so good on my Turtle Purgatory Lego build.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I'm setting it up here. You know, I need everything I cover. I need a souvenir from it if I spend a lot of time on it. So this is beautiful.
Now you have 3. You have the mac and cheese journal. The
I still haven't
bubbles.
written them to give me my
What is wrong with you? I got my T-shirt yesterday. You need to give them your address so you can get your baseball, your Otter Creek baseball shirt.
I know. I know.
Oh
You
my
do a lot
gosh.
of things, you know. It's funny. Yeah, I laugh about this with family. I'm like, you know, I can put together really in-depth folders of whatever when we're doing cases. I can keep up with all this minutia. But as far as keeping up emails, texts, you know, anything like that, nah, not so much. Not my forte. Not very good at it. So
That's
apologies. But I did get
Oh
this
my
lovely
gosh.
thing. I like that. I think that's hilarious there.
It's very funny. It's very funny.
I don't know.
By the way, did you have a chance to go over all the new stuff that I put in the drive?
I started looking through it. And I haven't had a chance to look through everything because it was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I have been updating all my background information that I'm getting from sources pre-Jeremy Hales, and it's incredible. And if you have not checked out my TLDR version of the What the Hales saga part 1, make sure you go and do that later after the stream. It is on my channel. I put it up, I don't know, yesterday or the day before. I'm forgetting what day it is. But that will catch you up if you are someone who's behind on this story. And I wait till I get to the next segment. The next one's going to be really something. So I'm excited about that.
Hey, Megan, can you pin that right there? There's the
Yeah.
PO box, by the way. So if people want to send you anything, like I said, just make it out to that umbrella. The post office knows who I am. So if something comes in, if it's for that umbrella guy, like they know. So just to make sure. And then again, if you're sending it to Megan, I'll just set it aside and I'll get around eventually to mailing it to her.
Yeah, eventually. It's fine.
I'm kidding. When I go down, usually when I go down there, I go down there every couple of weeks. And when I go down there, I'll bring something to mail. You know, that's the way I'll do it. So,
Perfect. No, it's perfect.
it'll be
No
like a
rush.
chain. Yeah. Well,
No rush.
since we're talking a show and everything, I figured we'd have a way to, if people wanted to mail. I like one of the things I really liked with What the Hales is the fan mail. You know, everything they get from people that enjoy the show. I love seeing what people send. So
I know, it's fun. On the couple times that I've taken the chance and given people my address to send me stuff, I've always been pleasantly surprised. I just don't want to be pleasantly unsurprised one of these days.
I have, let's see, I've gotten, I think the last count was I've gotten 287 Amber Heard mirror dolls of some sort.
Oh my gosh.
I have a giant box out in the garage and it's just full of mirrors that I throw in there. One person in particular sends them over and over again.
Oh,
they're like, yeah, I just found a new one at a yard sale. Figured I'd send this to you.
See,
My
now
favorite one.
This is when you need a WhatsApp, or not WhatsApp. What's that called? The Whatnot app, so you can auction off the extras.
Would you like to buy a crate of Miradol?
Would you like to buy? And there are 1,700, almost 1,800 of you here right now. Make sure you share the stream. Let people know that we're on. I forgot to share it ahead of time, so I kind of did that late. And like it. Make sure you like it and subscribe. And check if you think you're subscribed. Make sure that you are subscribed, because YouTube loves to delete people. And if you can support the show, send super chats, because we will definitely appreciate those. Breadstick money is always appreciated. Only send Starbucks money, though. Don't ever send me your ramen money. Don't want that. Feed yourself first. And you can send me your coffee money. All right.
Hey, on top of that, the video you put out yesterday, if people didn't check that video out, the TLDR on everything that's going on with this, make sure you do. Say the views on that, they drive it, and it'll get other places where live streams won't. So
absolutely. And it's a good way to, if you have like friends that you've been trying to explain this to and finding it hard. I've had people tell me that. Like, I tried to tell my husband about this case and it just got ridiculous and I couldn't. It's 12 minutes long and it gives a really broad overview of where we are, like where we started and where we are kind of up until now. And yes, there are holes. There are things that need to be filled in, but that's going to come in subsequent videos after that.
There's just so much. I thought you did well with it. It was pretty funny. It was informative. It was pretty freaking funny as well. So it hit all of those points. And the production value is really good. Really good.
Well, thank you. I also, I think the one thing I missed that I wish I had done better on was explaining all the things that were done to Jeremy that led to the Ohio order. So I am going to go back into that. I kind of just glossed over it. I forgot the Cook pulling a gun on him. I forgot a lot of that stuff. I did cover the signs and the defamatory posts on Facebook, but the gun incident is important. So I'm going to have to go back and kind of fill in those holes. But there's plenty of time to do that. But that's like the one thing I think I missed. Other than that, I think for an overview, it was pretty good.
Do you want me to pull the transcript? I have it marked from last time.
Yes, please do. Texas Taz says the intro was too long. That wasn't an intro. That is what YouTube does for premieres.
Oh, yeah.
And then after the premiere is over, that intro goes away. So if you go back to watch it now, there's no intro.
Yeah, that is 100%. I agree. I like the way that they do their premiere, but I think they should go in and change it up a little. They never changed it. They did a version 1 and they were like, yeah, we're going to go and update. They never updated it. They didn't. I hadn't looked at a premiere in a while. So I was looking at it. I was like, man, that reminds me of the premiere I did the first week that was out. It's the exact same intro.
I know. Rogue Mama, I love this. Don't tell Megan her intro is too long. She will make it longer. It's true. It's true. In fact, Slug is right now at this very moment doing a redo of my intro. And he asked me how long I wanted it. And I was like, as long as it is or longer. Longer. The answer is always longer. Definitely don't make it shorter. Definitely not. I like longer intros in case I forgot to get something, need a cup of coffee, whatever. Well,
2,000 people already off time too. That's crazy. Good stuff.
Yeah.
There's also a filing that came up new. I may cover that later tonight, so...
Yes, Bruce has filed his answer to the amended complaint, and it's very whiny, and I don't think it's going to be effective. I don't think his arguments are very good, especially the thing about he's arguing that it isn't timely, even though the deadline was December 18th.
Yeah, the deadlines are pointed out right out. So.
Yeah, I don't understand that part of the argument. I think saying it's not timely because you didn't bring this up earlier 5 months ago when some of the things that are talked about happened doesn't take into consideration how long it took to put it all together. There was research going into it. I'm sure there was evidence gathering. There was all kinds of things that had to happen.
Well, some of that evidence did not come up 5 months ago. In fact, Some of that evidence is, just like Shara being deposed. It's the same thing. You find out about things on the fly. They've also been saying that the spin on the thumbnail litigation being dropped is that they're going to add it to federal litigation. I'm,
They
I'm,
can't. They
yeah, I was
can't.
like, you mean in the countersuit? So, even if in some way you tried to bring that up, that's not it anymore. Plus, you dragged DUI guy and DJ Radis into vexatious litigation that they can sue you over.
Yeah, there's also other glaring errors, but I'm not going to mention them because he probably hasn't seen them yet. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And if he files again something like that after he's already voluntarily dismissed the original complaint, I think that's not going to look good for him, and just bolsters my argument that he is vexatious, that he's doing this for revenge, that he's trying to harm YouTubers that rejected him.
My chair is extra loud today. My kids were jumping up and down on it, and I'm like,
uh-oh,
I'm gonna have to.
The new chair?
Break something. Yeah, they were jumping on it. I was like, "What are you doing? That's my baby!
Oh
Don't
no,
kill my baby!"
Oh, no. They can't jump on your chair.
I was like, "This is my new chair.
Oh no,
Go jump on the old one. I think it's in the garage." You know, like, good Lord, what y'all doing?
Yeah, I read through his response yesterday myself. I was reading through it and I was laughing through most of it. I don't think that it's well written, and you're going to really enjoy it, I think. So if you are going to read through that tonight, that'll be interesting. I won't be able to be there for it unless you go later. Maybe I can jump in. I have a neighborhood party to attend this evening, which is why we're doing this earlier in the day.
I'll either do that tonight, or we'll talk about it. I might do it. We'll talk about it after this, you know.
Okay.
We'll see. Okay.
All right. So we left off. I don't know where do we leave off? Let me put this back up on the screen.
Okay. We are on page 66. That is the PDF file. 66. I don't know if the pages are actually numbered too. Yeah, actually the pages match. What a weird day.
We got through 66 pages. I'm so proud of us.
It's weird though. Usually the transcript and the PDF page don't match up, you know? They're usually like one page off. So that's amazing. When I say that, I don't have to correct which one I'm on. And we were on line 17.
All right. So for today's reading, Tug is reading the part of Randy Shockett. I am reading the part of Shara Wolf. And I'm also reading Bruce Matskin. And Tug is reading the court reporter.
Yeah, okay. On this, remember to stress that fact. This is more informational. This is a shocking information. We found out that Shara, her first interaction in this was to be told that there was a ploy by Jeremy Hales and others to assassinate Russell Meeks on a hunting trip.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's not adversarial. So when we're reading through this, just remember that this is shocking. This is not manskins. All right. Are you ready for this?
I am. Oh, by the way, Mama Lori just gifted 5 Megan Fox memberships, and Flux just got one. So congratulations to all of you who just got those, and thank you so much for donating those. I just saw that go across the screen. Flux, you are now a member. Look at you with your little green star. All right. I am ready.
All right. Starting here. I'll mark them as I go through to the answer place. Are you reading off of this or are you reading your own?
I am reading off of yours.
Okay.
I learned my lesson the other day.
As I go through, you'll be able to see it here.
Right.
You should be able to see the marker. Okay. All right. You notice every time, like I said, when I say okay, you notice it's right there. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Every single time. That's crazy. Here we go. Okay. All right. Did you ever discuss, strike that. Let's just move on to the next one. When was the first time you met Mr. Cook?
I don't know the exact first time, but during conversations with Preston, he would be in the background.
And did you ever hear the child in the background too?
All the time.
So approximately, and this is just approximately, we're not going to hold you to it, but how many times have you spoken with Miss Preston over the phone since March of 2023?
Several times.
Well, when you say several, is it more than 100, less than 50?
I'm not going to say more than 100. Oh gosh, dozens maybe.
Dozens. Okay.
Or dozens or a couple dozen. I can't give you the exact number. It's been off and on through the time that I've...
Sounds like somewhere between 20, 40 conversations. Would that be fair?
Perhaps. We'll say perhaps. I mean, it could be in that range.
All right. Sorry, it's my cigar here. And you have records of your phone conversations with her.
Not everything. There were times when I was recording with permission because I was doing interviewing. We were going to use interview segments, so there may be records of some of that.
You interviewed her, but not in person?
I have not interviewed her in person.
So how did you do the recordings?
I was going to record on the phone and do an interview with her in the very beginning, like an interview. Rather than going to Florida at that time, I was just going to interview.
So you have interviewed her with her permission, correct?
Yeah, I'm sure I did because I asked permission a couple times.
Okay. All right. And do you have those recordings still?
I would have to go search and find them, but I'm sure that they're still there.
Okay, great. Now, look at paragraph 12, July 17th, 2021. And let me just show you something here. I don't have it in front of me. Sorry, I'll get it for you. Do you know anything about this? Read this paragraph. You don't need to read it out loud, but I'll read it for you. Quote, on or about July 17, 2021, Preston drove from Northwood, Florida to a vacant lot across the street from Mr. Hale's property, and she took a fan picture with Jamie Starr Johnson by the entrance to Mr. Hale's property where his drive-through sign was publicly known to be located. What, if anything, do you know about this incident?
The day that they went there to look at the property, they hadn't purchased it yet. They were there to look at the property. Jamie was there and Preston was there, and they went to his address to take that picture.
And you weren't?
House address to take that picture.
You weren't there, right?
I was not there.
So you learned this from who?
Both parties, both Jamie and both Preston.
They confirmed that with you?
Yes.
Did they tell you what they wanted to take a picture where Mr. Hale, can they tell you why, rather they wanted to take a picture where Mr. Hale's drive-through sign was located?
Preston wanted to take the picture from what I understand.
Did you ever come to the understanding why Miss Preston would take that picture there?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen the picture?
Yes.
How?
It was
Go ahead.
sent to me by Jamie.
Jamie had the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have it.
You have it? Okay.
I have it. It was sent to me in Messenger back in 2023.
It was sent to your messenger in 2023?
Yes.
Who sent it to you?
Jamie. I have it.
Why would do you know any idea why Jamie would send that to you?
Well, she sent me a lot of pictures because of things that happened to her when she was staying there.
Okay. Well, yeah, I heard that. Really? Because we didn't hear that, Randy. It was inaudible. What at some point, Miss Jamie Johnson, Starr Johnson, she stayed with Miss Preston on her property.
Yes, for 2 months.
Okay. And you know that. Did Miss Preston tell you that?
May I just correct that? Approximately 2 months, because I don't know the exact timeline, but it was...
Okay.
It was for weeks.
It was how many?
Weeks of anywhere up to 2 months. It was weeks, but I don't know the exact number of weeks.
I didn't realize that the stay was that long, by the way. Did you?
I did. I thought actually that it was longer than that. I thought she was there for quite a while.
Maybe I was processing that wrong. I kept thinking of a shorter stay, for some reason. I don't know why. It was just processed that way.
No, I knew
I
that
like the
she was trying to get Jamie to move there. She kept saying that she wanted Jamie to move there so that she could get rid of John or something. But that really didn't make sense because she voluntarily moved there with John. And that brings up a whole other grift that I've discovered going through all the old documentation that people are sending me from Northport, is that there was a whole divorce grift. Like, I'm getting divorced. It's just going to be me and the baby now. And we have to move and we have to buy a trailer and I need help. And then she goes and moves with John. He actually doesn't leave her. I mean, they get divorced, but they still stay together. And she didn't tell people in Northport that. She was telling everyone in Northport that she was going to be a single mother. And it's just more grifting, more ability to grift off of a situation to make people feel sorry for her.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild. I noticed somebody sent me super chat pictures from the other day, for the new thing, for the barn dominium thing. And I kept thinking, do people understand that that's not set up like a fundraiser? They're not doing that at all. So 30% of that, like let's forget, it's going to not Preston, first of all. Let's totally forget that part. Did they realize, since they didn't set it up as a fundraiser, that 30% of that money is just like that? Boom, it's gone. It's
gone. I know. I've said that before. It makes no sense to do a fundraiser through Super Chats. None.
You don't do it that way.
You shouldn't do it that way. It's a total ripoff to the people who are sending money, because it's 30% of it's going to Google for nothing.
Well, it's a TOS violation. Like, if you're actually out there pushing something as a fundraiser, you're supposed to set it up as a fundraiser, and you're supposed to disclose that. I mean, it's 100% supposed to be disclosed. But even barring that, again, they're giving away, again, 30 of every $100.
Speaking of that 30%, if you feel like sending me 100% of your Super Chats, scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now is Cash App, Venmo, and other 2 different ways that you can send 100%. And by the way, if you send your Super Chats to Cash App, I can read the message and I will spend it on my massage on Monday. I promise. That's what I will spend it on. Because I always use the Cash Apps to pay for that. And I'm always impressed that I don't have to dig out of our joint account, or my husband and I's joint account for it, which is great, because that always makes me feel proud. It always makes me feel proud to be like, I'm paying for my own massage.
Exactly.
No one can be annoyed that I'm going to get a massage every 2 weeks.
I use some of that.
I need to stay out of pain.
I use some of that money, by the way. So we were talking about video games and doing video game streaming.
Oh, yeah.
So I picked up Red Dead Redemption 2. I did pick that up.
Yes.
And I picked up that horror game as well.
You did? Oh, so did I. Okay,
I played that a little,
awesome.
but I was like, well, I'm just going to set that one out. I'll just set it aside, and I won't touch it again until it's time.
Flux is so excited. So Jeff and Flux were going to start playing Red Dead Redemption on the 21st of December. That was when they were supposed to start that. And then, of course, he left us. And so Flux and I were talking about this yesterday, and she was saying that, and I was like, well, what's Red Dead Redemption? And she goes, oh, we were going to get you to play it. It's basically Grand Theft Auto on horseback.
It is.
So you can be cowboys robbing banks. And so so we are going to do it with Flux instead. So Tug and I are going to play with her since Jeff had to leave, or he had to exit stage left early. We are going to continue that. And we're going to start, I believe, Tuesday, January 21st, before the regular stream that we have, Tug. So we're going to do it like at around 5 p.m., barring any major emergencies.
Then I don't even have to pretend like I'm not playing video games. I can just slap it on. What are you doing today, Tug? Oh, totally not paying attention. Look, horseback, robbing, fun time.
And it's going to be really annoying because Flux is going to have to teach me how to use a PlayStation controller, because I'm really bad at that. I'm so bad at it. Awesome. They have handheld Steam. Now, again, you have to check the games to see, but they have handheld Steam players. I don't know how well that's a 100 gig game, so that isn't a small game. But
for a lot of those like running gun games, goofing off games. Oh man, get that. And it has a YouTube stream to setup function. I've not tried it yet, but it apparently does. Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait for this. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so freaking fun.
All right, now, see, that was my disruption of this. I know that you are supposedly the person that derails. That was my fault.
That's okay. It's all right. It's gonna happen. We're gonna have that.
Welcome, 2,700 people, man. And we wondered
Oh
how
wow, the number really jumped up.
Yeah, we were talking about like, you know, we're just looking at different times and checking out a few things. So make sure again if you like earlier in the day streams, you know, I like times like this time frame. I don't like 8 a.m. streams.
I know you don't, and I'm so sorry.
No, I'm not complaining at Megan with that too. I want to note. I'm just generally complaining.
It's just, you know, for Jeff's chat, they missed that morning slot, you know, so when we're doing Jeff's retro trial, it only makes sense to do it near his time slot, you know.
I don't feel like I'm on enough, you know, because I haven't ingested enough caffeine yet.
You were better by 10 a.m. my time. That was better.
At first, when I was like, oh my God, what's going on?
I know you sounded half dead.
And then that Lego stream we had was fun, but we kept having, people didn't realize we had so many StreamYard issues that
oh God.
I think half the conversations might have not come through correctly. Because people were like, you're very quiet. I was like, no, we're not that quiet. And I went back and I was like, man.
Right. You kept getting kicked out. It was crazy.
Yeah. So,
you know, StreamYard, by the way, has been emailing me about and not helping at all. And they're blaming me for the problems that they had and everyone knew they had because everyone had the same problem. And I just told them, I'm like, you know what? I'm done talking to you. I'm finding another service because you can't even admit when you have a problem.
Right.
This is ridiculous. Stop asking me these stupid questions. No, it's not me. It's you.
It was all over Twitter.
I know. I told them that. I'm like, go look for StreamYard on Twitter and see what pops up, you dummies. We don't have any reports. Yeah, that's because you don't listen to people.
It's sad because they started out as such a great service too, until they sold off, you know. It
was a great service, and unfortunately, yeah, something happened with the sell-off. So I have to get on that before February when they're going to charge me the $400 for the year or whatever, because that's a lot of money, and I'm not spending that kind of money.
I'm going to try out OBS again. I couldn't run OBS for a while because of the being out in the middle of nowhere, but I think it's supposed to be better. So I'm going to find out. Either that or I'm going to have one really bad stream and then learn about it. All right. So anyway, back to our thing here. Okay. So question here. Okay. And look, it's an okay again.
It's okay.
Every time.
Every time.
And it's so random. I never look at it until Okay. How long do you know the timeline of when Miss Johnson left the property of Miss Preston?
When you say, can you reword that? Because I don't understand the question.
Yeah, that actually wasn't, that wasn't one I understood very well. I get what he's trying to say, but I could see what
there.
Do you know when she left? It's important happening at the time.
Oh, I can.
If you don't guess, it's okay.
No, I can find out.
What?
I can look back in Messenger at some point and find out if you need that answer to find out when she was thrown off the property. Preston.
I know. I understand that.
I don't know. They put her in the street. They put her in the streets.
Okay. That's what I mean. Do you know when that occurred?
I can get you the exact date if I go on my Messenger, which I can't do right now, obviously, because it'll take too long to get up there, and it takes like a couple of hours to get to the top of a Messenger thread. That's why Facebook is so bad, folks. But I can get to the date. I can get that date for you.
And who told you
that? Who told me that she was thrown off the property, or?
Correct. How did you learn that? Who?
Jamie was distraught and wrote to me from Florida. I'm in the street. I don't have any of my things. I don't have any of my clothing. She won't even let me get my things out of my camper. She was distraught.
Does it help marking that, by the way? Does that
Yeah.
help? Some?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it might.
Can you believe
It's a-
this? That she's thrown out of her own camper without any of her things, her clothes, anything. Won't let her back onto the property, which,
Well-
by the way, is illegal. If you've been living there and you're considered a renter at some point. I don't know what the timing is in Florida, but you can't keep somebody out of their own property.
Shara also brought up a good point with all of this stuff. She was, she's essentially saying with her videos that the narrative, and her comments too, the narrative that we understood with all of this stuff, that narrative came from Preston. It didn't come from anyone else. It came from Preston. So do you believe that? Because how many things has she not been correct about?
Yeah, exactly. Almost everything. Yeah.
So how did that make you feel when you heard that news?
It was like I couldn't even believe what I was hearing. Jamie has never once lied to me, but I had both of them run on sentences. Both of them were just going at each other, and I decided to remove myself from that equation. Jamie was sending me things in Messenger. Preston was doing the same. And Preston was demanding that I stop all contact with Jamie, demanding.
That's crazy because this is the person she knew before Preston. That's how she got her into this. When she was demanding, was that in writing or on the phone or both?
It could be. It could be in writing or it could be on the phone. I would have to search and find that. She demanded that I stop all contact with Jamie, and I didn't agree with that. And then she started accusing me of giving Jeremy information and giving Jamie information that she was feeding to Jeremy, which never happened. I never gave anyone any information or gave Jeremy any information. Never happened. She started making these accusations.
So the accusations of quote unquote being a mole, essentially that's another go-to apparently behind the scenes. If you don't agree with her, she's like, oh, you're doing this for Jeremy.
Paranoia.
Wild. It's also deflection, because nothing is ever Preston's fault. Have you ever seen her admit to any type of wrongdoing whatsoever and saying, hey,
Nope.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that with these, saying this publicly. Obviously she's never admitted to the signs, but some of the statements, maybe I shouldn't do that. No.
Nope.
Seen one. You ever
Not
seen anything
once.
with Northport?
Oh, wait to get into that. There's so much from Northport that I haven't even had the time to share yet. And I'm going to put it in the TLDRs, I think, because it's going to illustrate so clearly that this is a pattern of behavior. Grift. And then when people catch you grifting and they start complaining about it and getting concerned about it, then you attack. And she accuses whoever is questioning her for the grifting and questioning the safety of the child. It is incredible, you guys. It's the pattern is so clear. Oh, and by the way, I've also uncovered several car grifts. Several car grifts.
Is the typical response from people when she starts that they argue a little bit, but finally they walk away or whatever? I'm curious because, Jeremy, one thing, like when she started going after him, he's responsive. Like he's just not a person to back down. So I'm curious how you can see how this obviously.
Connie didn't back down. Connie stood up, and Connie sent the cease and desist and basically was like, I'll take your ass to court. And I think what happened was when I show you guys the extent of the Northport activity, you're going to realize that they had just worn out their welcome and they knew it. They knew that they had to move on. They were hitting a wall there. And so it was like, I think they gave up after Connie started getting vocal, and they had already decided on their next plan, which was this Jeremy Hales grift. And none of their grifts had ever been very successful. They were successful enough to kind of get by, but this is the first one that's actually been quite successful.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah, let's make that clear too. Like this has been very successful for them. It may not be, it may have real consequences, But in the immediate, you talk about the amount of money, all of that we're seeing flow in. Oh yeah, it has definitely been successful.
She was never able to raise more than $500, maybe $1,000 here or there for different things, for cars, for gas, travel expenses. She grifted for the adoption, and then after the adoption first it was the home study. There was a grift on the home study, then the adoption, then it was the medical problems and grifting on that. But she never raised all that much that I can tell. People were kind of catching on, and there's so much in the Northport files that show a pattern. Yes, I do have things before Northport as well. She would move to Naples for a little while. There was a grift for a car and some gas money to get her there. There's a lot. It goes all the way back to 2010. My info.
Wild. Yeah, I saw the timeline. I was like, whoa, that's a heck of a timeline. You're talking about a decade and a half really mapping out here.
And the interesting part is none of it's illegal, really, right? It's not illegal to ask people for money and live off of other people. As long as other people are giving you their money, people are allowed to give their money away. And there are people who will just continually live like that. It's not illegal to do that. So it's not a crime, but it is a pattern of behavior. And it shows the type of person you're dealing with.
What'd you say?
Try to be quiet.
I know.
Oh, she's being so good.
I know. She was moving like a ninja through there, weren't you?
I was trying.
Yeah, you were trying. You were good. Hey, so let me ask you real quick, since we haven't heard from you since Christmas. How was your Christmas?
Good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of good gifts?
Yeah. Even that shark that rolls on wheels.
Oh yeah, the shark that rolls on wheels. That's true. Yeah.
And we need batteries though.
Oh, we need batteries. Oh man, I need to put that right on the list then. Okay, I'll put it on the list. You remind me.
The list for what?
For stuff we need. We need to get milk, water, batteries. We need stuff. So I'm gonna go get all of that.
And mac and cheese, because we made mac and cheese.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, not the mac and cheese again.
No, we don't need that. We need rocket pops. Yeah.
And mac and cheese.
And mac and cheese.
And
Anything
mac
else,
and
ma'am?
cheese.
Anything else, little ma'am?
Can we
that I
call
need to
it pasta and fromage?
Yes.
Um,
Can we call it something else besides mac and cheese? Can we call it pasta and topping or something?
we need something like waffles, because we don't have that waffles.
Waffles.
Yeah, dancing waffles.
I like waffles.
She likes this specific type. They have a little animated character, dancing on the front. She calls them dancing waffles.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
they have to be a specific type. Dancing waffles,
funny.
right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, go upstairs and play for a little bit.
We need you want the normal card, the big card, Dad? Which one?
Yeah, which one? You're making the list. What do we need?
I think the big card, because maybe when Gigi comes over someday,
Mm-hmm.
can make dancing waffles. That's the big kind.
Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you go ask Sissy to help you with something? Here, I'll give you a piece of paper and a pen, right? And bring this pen back. And don't write on anything else. It's a Sharpie. Don't write anything else. It won't come off. But look, here, go make a list. You can have the whole notebook. No, this is my paper. You have the whole notebook. Okay? So go ask Sissy to help you write it down.
That's a good idea, Dark Lyle. We can call it craft dinner. Yes, that's better.
Something, because maybe I will say no.
Okay, well, I'll ask her too. Okay, you go up that way, and I'll ask her. Okay, but yeah, go play and make sure.
That's the stuff we need. That's the waffles. Everything like that we need.
Okay, all right.
We need this because if we don't,
She's going up the stairs now.
I hear her. It's fun. If you hear weird popping noises, it's my therapy putty that I asked for Christmas. I'm healing my carpal tunnel. I have so much less pain since I've been playing with this stuff, but it pops and snaps occasionally with air bubbles.
I've been making Play-Doh stuff. It was really funny. So on Christmas, this was kind of funny. We had gotten her. It's like a little delivery car or bicycle, in it, or rather, I said bicycle, motorcycle or whatever, scooter or something like that. But it's got a pizza set up on the back,
oh, cool,
Play-Doh and everything. So we put it together like at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I went and I pushed it in the other room. So, it wouldn't get destroyed in the middle of the night if somebody found it. But I'd set the box back by the tree and I didn't think anything about it. So when she comes in there, she's like, "Oh, look at that." And she grabs the box and of course it's empty. It's full of, paper and stuff. She's like, "Someone stole it."
The Grinch.
She did say that.
Oh my gosh. There were these viral videos all over the internet of like people who had hired like a guy in a Grinch suit to break into their house in front of the kids and steal their presents. The kids were screaming and crying. Who does this to their kids?
That was horrible. I saw that, man.
While their parents are laughing, like you're traumatizing your kids, dude.
See, my kids and I, you goof off your kids a little bit, man, but you are not damaging your children, like little jokes and stuff. But man, that where they think some monsters broke in and
that's horrible. That's like you're giving them PTSD. You're going to give them, you're going to make them feel unsafe. I don't know. I don't understand people who prank their kids like this. I hate that so much.
That's cruelty right there. My kids like the joke they like to do. What we continue is I'll sit behind something, if they walk in, I won't like jump them, like, but I'll do the Jason thing. I'll go, or something like that. That's been a continuing joke, so that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay to mess with your kids. Like, obviously my husband loves to scare the kids, but like having someone break in your house in a Grinch suit, I'm talking, these were like 2 and 3 year old kids, little bitty kids screaming and crying. And their parents are just sitting there laughing. Like, what?
Yeah, it was.
It's not cool. Funny.
I saw that video, when somebody posted it, and the comments actually made me feel better though, because people were like, "This is monstrous," Who would do that
at Christmas time? Like, what are you doing? Stupid. Man, I hate people sometimes. I really, again, I don't like vlogging, family vlogging, putting kids on camera, making content about kids. Like, I don't like that at all. I just think it's exploitive and weird. And
I used to not do it. This is one thing I ran into though. I used to always not like put up any pictures or anything like that because again, I'm anonymous, But I found this weird thing. A bunch of weirdos found pictures of my kids and they were posting about them. So when people would look up, when they look at my kids, they'd find them on other people's Twitters and stuff. So I was finally like, forget this. I will post a little and I'll talk about them because they shouldn't be creating these weird ass narratives and
true.
That doesn't exist. But anyway, let's continue. I really derailed with it. Actually, I guess that was the little one derailed, but it was funny. It
was funny.
After Christmas. All right, here we go. So
all right, here we go.
Did she say what information specifically it was that she thought you were giving?
No. She just thought that I was being a mole and that I was giving Jamie information and that Jamie was giving information to Jeremy through me about her, which never happened.
There's the word, a mole, right there. And we've seen that. We've seen that a lot. We've seen Shara yet again accused of that. So did you know anything about the arrangement that Miss Preston had with Jamie as to leaving her camper on Miss Preston's property?
I do. Well, the camper was actually delivered weeks before Jamie ever even got there. Jamie never had possession of that camper before she got there. She didn't even know where it came from. She just knew that her husband gave it to her as a gift for child support, which I'm sorry, can we pause for a minute? That's not legal. You can't give somebody a camper in exchange for child support because the court is still going to come after you for it. Yeah. So that part of it doesn't really make sense to me. So I don't know.
Maybe in the wording, maybe, to support the child, maybe not in lieu of child support. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I mean, it's not like the court's going to accept, oh, you gave her a camper. That's fine. You don't have to give her child support anymore. That's not how that works.
No, not at all.
But maybe he was giving it to her as a, I'm sorry, I didn't pay my back child support, or who knows? Maybe it was just a private arrangement. But that doesn't.
The clarity on that anyway. This does kind of frame things a little bit differently than some of the stuff we were hearing and that mental image that all of it gives you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Preston received the camper there weeks before Jamie even arrived and took possession of the camper and checked it out and said everything was okay with the camper because she checked everything out, looked it up, made sure everything was okay with it, and then Jamie arrived. But I'm sorry, I forgot where your question. Can you say your question one more time?
That's wild. So actually, Preston took possession of it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's interesting. So what was the arrangement? I mean, so as you understood, we'll go a little slower. Jamie Starr told you that.
Well,
Go ahead. How did you know? How did you know that this camper was a gift from Jamie Starr's husband for child support?
well, Jamie told me.
Right. And so did she also tell you what the arrangements were, if any?
Yes, she told me everything.
You got to let me finish. So what the arrangements were, if any, between her and Miss Preston to have Jamie's camper set on Miss Preston's property.
Jamie told me that she wanted Jamie to move there so that she could kick her husband, Cook, out off the property, and that Jamie would move there. That was the original thing. Jamie told me that.
So there's what you were talking about too.
Uh-huh.
You know, again, that is fascinating. You were talking about North.
He never moved out. So she got there. She's there for weeks. He's still there.
And we know she's been telling, I mean, we hear it with the police. We hear it on other recordings where she's actually saying that she wants to kick him off the property. You know, she accuses him of all of these things. She's always accusing him of pretty damn horrible things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, okay. But was that going to be free? Was it free to Jamie to keep her camper on Michelle's property?
I don't know what those arrangements were, but I know that Jamie went there and worked very, very hard on the property. She had her working every day, from what Jamie said, and Jamie was not feeling well. And she said she couldn't do it anymore. And she started to stay over near friends' houses because she was being overworked and it was very difficult on her. That's what she told me.
So that's yet another thing that we hear about too.
Free
People
labor.
Stay there. Very free labor. So this is Mr. Manskin, by the way.
Oh, can I please say something on the record? It's perfectly fine. I wonder if you'd endeavor to explain what any of this has to do with defamatory road signs or interference with contracts or customers. That's all.
We're moving on. Next question. Man, Bruce, by the way, he's been missing for quite some time in this. You know?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to object to every single thing.
Yeah, he said he was going to, but he decided against it, I guess.
Okay, so go ahead and go back. Did you ever know why Miss Preston had Miss Johnson working on her property?
Jamie felt that she was used. She felt like she was being used. That's what she said to me.
Do you know whether or not Miss Preston was paying Jamie to do the work? I'm thinking I might have a raid in a second. I can hear that.
Okay, no problem.
That'll be the one thing I'll know too.
I got the field note.
She's excited about the note. Say, oh, here, let me have it. Oh, yes. Okay.
It only has the Elizabeth that I got.
Okay, so you got the list there. All right. Hey, will you close my door there? And that's great. I will. Huh? What? I have no idea. I heard it. It sounded like another language. She said, no, I'm not closing it. Something, blah, blah, something. So there may be a raid. That's the one, I'm going to say, thing that will amp up a little bit if we're in the daytime. We will have more kid
That's
raids.
okay. It's totally fine.
Do you know whether or not Miss Preston was paying Jamie to do the work on Miss Preston's property?
I was told Jamie was paying her for the electric. I believe it was the electric she had stated, and that it was like a test time to see that if she could move there and move to Florida. That's basically all I was told about that. Oh, so she's paying the electric bill and she's working
Jamie's
for free.
it,
She's paying to work? What? How does that make any sense?
Not just that. I mean, when people move out there, okay, so look at the different people. Some people are forced to, according to them and according to her, they're forced to live in sheds. You know, they're not giving accommodation. They're forced to live in sheds. or they bring their own accommodation and they have to work, they have to pay for things. It's the same thing like Lloyd. Remember, we were hearing about electricity and other items. Fascinating. So, as a journalist, an experienced journalist, that's incredible to you. Someone's paying electricity and being made to work by the owner of the property to have a camper there. Am I summarizing that correctly?
It seems like there's got to be some kind of, I don't know. I felt like there was always some kind of plan, premeditated plan on why these things were occurring, because it didn't make sense to me unless she really wanted her to move there. I mean,
right. I'm just, if you don't know, I will move on. But it seems like, did you ever ask Jamie, like, if you're being overworked, why are you working? Are you working for nothing? Why are you doing it? Did you ever ask a question like that?
she did it to help a friend. She wanted to help the child. She was spending time with the child and helping the friend. She went there with her heart to help her, and her life has been turned upside down since.
So she felt that she was helping the child.
Sad.
Okay. That okay? by the way,
She
with
helped
me?
her.
I just wanted to know when I said okay. I was like, wait a minute, maybe I didn't make it clear. I went back to it.
Sorry, she helped her.
Did Mr. Manskin ever, to your knowledge, have any interactions with Jamie?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to where I was. We'll get there. Can you see that? Oh, no. Yeah, you can't see it yet. Hold on. I'm the court reporter, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Counsel, is it okay if we take a quick break? Sure. All you do is ask.
May I for 5 minutes as well?
What's happened here?
I don't know.
Stop it. Oh my God. It's funny. 5 minutes.
Can we all take a quick 5-minute?
Oh, take a break. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. What do you want?
I think Randy's just saying, "Oh my God, of course you can. Of course,
Yeah,
take a break.
yeah. He's like,
Of
stop
course,
it. Can
all
we
you have to
take
do
5
is
minutes?
ask. Stop
I wonder
asking
if
me.
he-
Of course,
Yeah.
just
I
tell me
wonder-
you want a break." I think that's what he's saying.
It's funny. I just felt for a minute there. I was like, did we miss something that happened? We'll just say, let's.
Where are we?
5 minutes. All right. We're
15. Yeah. Okay. Let's move past the breaks discussion.
Okay.
All right, we're
Now-
back on the record. There it is,
Yeah,
line
we come
25.
back here, and I'm going to, All right, let me bring up this here. All right, okay, we're back on the record. So, Miss Wolf, I'm going to move on to the next paragraph here. This is about Miss Preston asking Mr. Hales if he could help remove a tree from property which she didn't even own at the time. Did you know anything about that?
Yes.
Tell us what you know.
She was going there that day to look at property. I believe she met with a realtor. That part, I don't know, but I know she was there to look at property to purchase, and she came with Jamie. Jamie was with her in Northport. Jamie helped clean her entire house in Northport and get her house ready and cleaned up. And she was with Jamie. Jamie was there on a visit to help her.
Wow, so that's interesting. So Jamie went to Northport as well, cleaned her home, helped her get everything ready for her. That's fascinating. Huh. Right. But the reason I say that it's fascinating is because this is yet another person that is stating, or somebody's stating about them here anyway, that they helped her out. How many people have we heard that with? That they help out, and yet, like months later, they're being talked about like they're the freaking devil.
And accused of things. Remember, she accused Jamie of being a crackhead, seeing little people on the walls, all kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look at everyone else. Everyone from Madam Mayor, Lloyd, her own grandkid. I mean, again, I think it's an easier thing to say, who hasn't she accused of something? I'm to that point, because anybody that's become a player in this, I'm waiting for the people that are part of the quote unquote ecosystem, we'll give them a few months. If things go sideways, I wonder, we've already seen a few statements about BBB where she wasn't happy with BBB. me. So, all right,
Yeah.
right. So, what about this removing a tree? What do you know about that?
I was told by Preston that Jeremy was driving by on his tractor, the green tractor, and waved him down or whatever to move the tree so they could access the whole property. It was a very, very large tree. He moved a very large tree. It was huge. By the way, that's not true. Lynette lied to her. He was not driving by.
Yes, and we saw the I liked where Shara actually kept up with stuff like that, and this is why the Depo from before, they tell you, oh, it should never be shown. Remember, her narratives have been locked in, and they're different narratives. Like, she comes up with different narratives for all of this stuff, and I'm sure that will come into play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! By the way, there are, let's see, how many people? 30, almost 3,300 people now. If you would, since Miss Fox here is not shilling her channel, make sure that you're
No, I am not. I'm not. Should I set a goal? Maybe I should set a super chat goal. I'm bad at grifting. I need people to remind me to do it. I'm so bad at it. Wait, let me get the right avatar out for this. Hold on. We need to get the begging Megan avatar going. Okay. I got to put on my begging face. Please, sir, can I have some super chats?
Well, what sucks about these live streams, just to tell people, YouTube has this weird little thing where they like to demonetize the live stream. So in replay, there's nothing on it until later. You can go in and argue it, and maybe
It's true.
a day or two later, they actually do something. But by then, there's no ad views.
And I've stopped turning on the monetization during the live because I don't want people to get interrupted by commercials. It's annoying.
I started putting it on there because apparently they still get interrupted even when I don't put it on.
They
there,
do
so.
during the
Yeah.
live?
Yeah. People were like, "Hey, there's commercials." I was like, "On my live? While I'm live?" And they were like, "Yeah,
Oh, man.
okay, thank you for writing that in." Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Hey, I can almost read this. Huh, that's awesome. I love little kids' notes. You know, I love reading through them. Man, this is actually spelled very well. I'm gonna have to give her props for that. You know, I've been having her write out lists for me. My oldest daughter, you know, where she's working on her spelling. That way she's actually, doing that for some real world need. Waffles spelled fun though. It's WAFFLL.
My 10-year-old just spelled
Waffle.
America wrong. I'm very disappointed. I'm gonna have to make him sit down and write it 100 times. He spelled it AMARICA. I was like, dude, no. By the way, I just set the goal for 50 super chats, and if we hit 50 in an hour, I will show you my new haircut, curly, because it should be dry by then. In an hour, it should be dry, and I'll show you what it looks like. My curls are having scissor shock, though, so it's not great, but...
Yeah, I just want to make sure that Megan gets again, this kind of stuff, the amount of work that has gone into all this is insane. You know, it isn't just like
for 3 hours yesterday putting all that.
No, I was watching it all like.
And now I'm so mad at myself because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something related to Jamie, and I can't find it. And I know it's there, and it's like, what did I do? But there's so much information that my organization it's outrageous. Like, the files are outrageous.
I'm also approaching this stuff like some douchebag that keeps threatening that he's going to sue us all. I'm approaching it with every piece of proof. You know, I'm not making claims of something out there that is not backed up by something. You know?
Yeah.
I'm definitely, when we're talking about grifts and all of this other stuff, again, you know, you can see the timeline for it. And that's not to be an asshole and point out things. It's to say that they say all these horrible things about Jeremy Hales, like all of this concern about a child. All of it started with Jeremy Hales, and it's not true. It's not true at all. All that Northport, you have people.
Oh
that
yeah,
are
it's not
claiming
true at all. It is not true in any way. It is false.
By the way, do not contact anyone associated with this.
Yes, please don't.
Case. Yeah.
Brad actually re-recorded. He re-recorded, and I don't have it uploaded yet, but he re-recorded my public service announcement for me. So it's not an AI robot voice. I'll have to get that uploaded soon. Love Brad.
Yeah,
Brad's a good dude.
By the way. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. He's funny, actually. I like it when he comes
he's
on
a,
sometimes. And I'll just like mess with him. He's got that dry humor like me, so
I
I
know.
think it's really funny.
Brad's a
Okay.
great dude. And by the way, I just found something that verifies that Jamie was in Northport before Otter Creek. Here we go. I found it. Let me show you this real quick. I just had to redact something off of here because we don't want to show her child's face, even though this woman shows her kid's face everywhere and is grifting off of her kid constantly. But here we have July 18th, 2021. House is on the market today. Property paperwork signed for offer, and my wonderful friend, Jamie Starr Johnson, has been such a huge blessing to me. I can't wait to move and build our new home. Yay, life is good. And
Wow.
here
So
they are.
she added the drive-through sign in this one too. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had not seen that one before. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So verifying that Jamie was in Northport helping her move and doing all of that. So there you go.
This stuff's crazy, man. There's so much proof of stuff that's happened, that goes against the narrative that they want to establish. I didn't know who Mr. Hales was, had no idea. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you posting about him. We saw the other post, and then this. I mean, she's utilizing it repeatedly. So interesting.
Yep.
Okay, and that would you agree with me? That's a very nice thing to do, a very neighborly thing.
I would love to have a neighbor doing that for me.
Did she say anything else about that? Mr. Hale's helping her remove a tree from a property she didn't even own.
She said some things that I found to be odd.
That's what we're here for.
Tell us all the odd things.
Yes, he does say that. Tell us all the odd in Otter Creek. I love that.
Yeah, tell us all the odd things.
Let's tell us the odd in Otter Creek. I love it.
She was calling him a dog, saying that he was looking at Jamie. Oops, that's basically what she was saying, which is, I don't even know. And I thought that was a little strange because he was there to help her. And Jamie, I might have a message in Messenger from Jamie back then in 2023 where she said she didn't see him looking there at all. Now she's talking about what she's talking about. Actually, let's go back to that picture because this is the way Jeremy met them on this day, actually, the same day. And this is what Jamie was wearing. So if you can see, Jamie's wearing a low-cut shirt and she's got her tatas out. It's fine. Nobody cares. But it's funny that Lynette was probably the one looking and then blaming Jeremy for looking. And for God's sake, so what if he looked? They're out there. They're there to be looked at. That's why they're out.
You also have to think about where Jeremy was positioned, how ludicrous this idea is. So he's sitting on a $50,000 tractor. He's noted that as a $50,000 tractor. I don't know if you've ever sat on a tractor, but you have a very high up view. You can't really make out a lot of stuff like that. It's not giving you that view. You'd be more likely to be staring at her scalp than to actually staring at her top.
Yeah, I mean, and also women don't dress like this so that men don't look at them. That's not why women wear stuff like this. They wear stuff like this for everyone to take a look. So who cares? What does that mean? And the fact that Lynette goes immediately to trying to besmirch him somehow and make him make a normal man ashamed for being a man. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I always hate that though. Like for me, I have a habit of I'll look to make sure that a person understands that I am listening to them and everything. I'll look up sometimes and I'll make eye contact with them, but most of the times for females, because of stuff like this and the insane claims that comes with people just like this, I actually don't. When I'm talking to women, a lot of times I will not look at them. I'll look around, or I might be, looking like I've got my attention elsewhere, look at my feet or whatever else, and I'll establish eye contact here and there to, again, not be rude about it. But one of the reasons I do that is because people make up so many weirdo false accusations. And even though there's nothing wrong with it, people like to pretend that there's something wrong with it. So, as a man that has a long-standing relationship, I I don't put myself in that situation. People try to ruin you with shit like that.
I know, it's terrible.
But him on that again, I've worked a lot. My uncle, I have farmers in my family. We have nursery farmers and everything else. My uncle, though, at one time he raised different types of crops. I believe soybeans. So I would go over there in the summers. I'd ride around on the tractors, ride around at the combine. It was fun as younger, Later on, I understood it was a lot of work, but it was fun too. But I can tell you, when you're setting up on this beast, the way they run, the way they shake and move, you're not really. If I'm paying attention to a person, I'm trying to watch where they are. I'm trying to have a conversation, but I'm also trying to have a conversation and make sure they're not getting around my wheels of the tractor or anything else, because they don't stop on a dime. They can be very dangerous. So.
Robert James is cracking me up right now. He says, "I look at a woman's heart. It's not my fault what's in the way." That's good.
Funny. Yes, I'm trying to judge her character by what's in her heart. That's funny. Okay.
Okay, so where did I go? Where did I leave off? Did I get the whole thing?
I think.
She didn't see him looking there at all. Okay.
You're backing
up. I might have that message in my messenger in 2023 where she said something on a video. She didn't see him looking at her there.
And she did have that, by the way. We did see the message that she stated about that. So, wow, thank you. All right. On or about July 21st, 2021, Miss Preston, Mr. Cook listed their Northport, Florida house for sale. Do you know anything about that?
I don't have any interaction with that, but I'm very aware of it, of course, that she did list her property for sale. So that is correct.
Okay.
After viewing that property where the picture was taken and all of that, that's when it was listed after that point.
I see. All right. Are you familiar that she stated on Facebook the day she took that picture that Mr. Hales was her new neighbor?
I've seen a message or a post, a comment, but I don't know the exact wording on it, but yes, I'm aware of it.
So Miss Preston in July of 2021 was not Mr. Hale's neighbor?
I believe she had an oral arrangement with the realtor, and that's why she went home to sell her property. So she wasn't his neighbor at that point yet.
Right. So she didn't become Mr. Hale's neighbor until October 2021, correct?
Until she sold her property and was able to purchase the property.
Right. You've already given us the reasons Michelle Preston, or sorry, I keep saying Michelle Preston. You've given us reasons why Miss Preston wanted to move, have to buy the property. Are there any other reasons that you know of that she would buy this property across Mr. Hale's?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right.
Well, okay, there was one.
What?
When she mentioned getting her child away from the COVID. But the thing that is strange, though, she said that she looked at the property in 2018. But when did COVID start? COVID didn't start at.
That's an interesting statement too. So she's supposed to be getting her kid away from the beer bug, and yet if she was looking at property in 2018, her own statement's trying to cover herself and rolling it back a bit, saying, actually, I was looking at it then. It causes other problems for her.
Yeah.
The court can take judicial notice that there was no beer bug in 2018, for example.
It was 2019 as well. I don't think there wasn't. What year was the bug? I think it was 2020, wasn't it? Yep. Yes, it was.
Yep. Generally acknowledged January, February 2020. So prior to January 2020, Ms. Preston said that she wanted to move away from Northport, Florida to get away from the beer bug.
Well, she told me the reason was that she wanted to move to Otter Creek was because it was a small town, and the town where she was in Northport was a large town and congested, and she felt there would be less chance of the Wuhan sniffles.
Right. So to fear less chance of beer bug, as a reason to move to Otter Creek, Florida, would have been while the beer bug actually existed, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I would assume so.
Right. All right. Thank you. Now, it says that between December 2021, February 2023, Miss Preston and Mr. Cook created multiple local Levy County Facebook pages. Do you know about that?
That was right. Probably right before that, I started to learn about the case. And I know that there were pages, and there was only one page, I think, that she had added me to at some point. But I knew of a page the cook had, and
What was?
I went to that page to look at it.
Okay.
And I saw alarming things on that page, and I even wrote to him in Messenger. I believe it was Messenger that, that page, you shouldn't be writing things like that. Like, he was writing some very horrific, degrading, abusive comments regarding Jeremy's partner, George.
And there, by the way, if you have not kept up with Shara's videos, you should. By the way, I do want to give Shara Michelle, that's the way the channel is named. You definitely want to check it out. But one of the statements in there was by Miss Preston herself, talking about how terrible some of those things were, that she even told Mr. Cook that he needed to take those statements down.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's telling, when she's sitting behind the scenes, and there's this level of denial that she tries to maintain. She's always blaming John Cook for stuff, but at the same time, she's acknowledging just how nasty this stuff is. Those acknowledgments are amazing to me. Like, when you see them, like, even she's like, I made him take down that statement because they were talking about cancer, in the, let's say, backside.
Mm-hmm.
So when you told him,
and by
Mr.
the way,
Cook,
they're still saying horrible things about her.
oh yeah, it's never stopped, man. This stuff doesn't stop. Like, they mock and degrade the thing. I mean, can we not just agree on maybe like some human level of just basic decency toward people? Like, if somebody comes down with cancer, even if you hate a person, can we just be like, yo, because I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I've seen what that does. I have had people close to me pass away because of cancer. I would not wish that on anyone, because it's not just them. It impacts everybody around them too.
Mm. But imagine telling an audience of people that, oh, she's faking her cancer. She doesn't have cancer. This is all for the channel. It's like, what? Who is saying this? Who would say this?
See, that's one of the things too. That Jeremy did a video that showed this journey, and it shows how stressful this stuff is. You're just getting a highlight reel basically, but man, I mean, you see, nobody goes out and does all of this, going to doctors and stuff at that high profile. They're not asking you for anything attached to it either. This was something that ended up being noted. It wasn't really a thing of discussion. That's one of the things when you're on the mic, sometimes things come out. You find out things about people because they're dealing with it, and how we're human. Sometimes we need to talk to somebody about that, because it hurts. And to have that mocked and derided all the time is awful.
Awful.
So when you told him, Mr. Cook?
Yes, and that's when he began to not like me at that point.
Mr. Cook took offense to you saying? Yes. Questioning his posting. Like you said, highly questionable posts about Mr. Hales. Yeah. So this is noting the exhibit, I suppose.
I guess.
I think that's what they're trying to say.
A lot of numbers.
Yeah. So probably exhibit number, in their question there. Yes.
Yes, he didn't like me after that point. There was also another time when I approached him in Messenger about things he was saying, and he didn't like that either. So that put an end to any real interaction with him. Soon after that, we were not in contact anymore.
Okay. Do you know approximately when or what month or year that Mr. Cook and you stopped being in contact with?
2023. I'm going to guess September, but I would have to look and get that for you and send that to you, the exact date. But I only had contact with him for several weeks, and that was it. So it was early on.
All right.
2023.
So do you know that Miss Preston would ask Mr. Hales for free merchandise at some point?
That I wasn't aware of, because that was never really shared with me.
Okay, that's fine.
I do know that she did want to go to his, I forgot what it's called, the mill something.
What was the phrase again?
$500,000.
Yeah, $500,000 to the grill.
Yes, she did. I know she wanted to attend that, and I know she wanted to bring a tortoise to that.
Right.
And it would be like an advertisement of her tortoise rescue.
She would get free exposure to the public of Mr. Hales.
Right.
You got to let me finish. Miss Preston knew that she would get exposure to Mr. Hales' donators if she was able to promote herself at $500,000 to the grill event. By the way, to note, when he notes this, he's not being rude or anything. This is all making a record. So just to note that's why he's saying it. You have to let me finish the question. It doesn't come out. You don't. It's one thing I don't like about transcripts. You don't actually see how people are reporting themselves. But we've seen Randy. We've seen how he actually handles witnesses, and look how nice he was with Miss Preston, even though she was something.
Oh yeah, totally. Yes.
So do you know whether or not Mr. Hale said that he would be okay to that?
No. Objection to the word donators. The word is donors.
Oh my God. Oh,
okay. So he's the grammar police now?
Yes. He objects to the word that is being used.
So weird.
God. Let me look something. Give me just 1 second, okay? Donators. I'm just trying to see. Yes. By the way, so is donator a word? Yes, donator is a word. That means a person who gives money, time, or other things, especially to charity. The word is derived from this word, BBB. It's called donate. So it actually is a word there. Now he's getting, he wants to play with the plural. He'd be like, oh my God, are we kidding?
Hang on a second. I've got a kid raider. You keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, of all things that you put on record, I mean, Bruce here has not been objecting to anything else that's going on. He said that he was going to object to every single thing, every question that was asked. What does he do instead of actually, again, objecting to form or saying form? Remember, Randy said that you could just say form. You don't actually have to say objection to form. Just say form. That'll put it on record. But instead of doing that, he said silent for who knows how much time this is. But you see how many pages, how much question there are. I mean, it's like he wasn't there. In fact, interestingly enough, if you go back to the very beginning, Shara wasn't even aware that he was
I know that
there.
he was there. What is this even? How does this objection help him in any way other than just looking like an ass?
It helps nothing whatsoever. I mean,
Oh
that's just so.
It's so embarrassing. This is embarrassing. He shouldn't be embarrassed of this. I didn't even catch the word donators, by the way. I didn't even hear it really. So, I mean,
well, interestingly, donators at one time was a utilized word, but it's no longer used. So I get curious about things like this, when people are like, that's not a word, especially with him, because he's pulled this before, he actually pulled this and in I can't remember if it was a post or it was a filing. I can't remember, but he did this 2 times.
No, he did it in Jeremy's Depo.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the words there, they were words that were no longer utilized, but they were words. You know, again, if you're using some archaic version of something, it's still a word, and it doesn't matter regardless. I'm just saying, anybody that resorts to this, you have in a court of law. First of all, maybe you should police your filings a little bit better, because his filings are absolute dog crap. But on top of that, anyone that goes with this, they have nothing.
All right, so I want to give you guys a little super chat update. Some of you have been sending cash apps, so I have to add it to the total. And I'm going with total of all day. So we're at 32. I know the goal says 12 out of 50, but it's actually 32. Plus a couple on Cash App. So we've got Mary. Mary sent me 20 that says, get the hot stones with your massage on Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. The hot stones are a gamble. Sometimes they burn. Like you can't tell when they're burning you because it feels so good. Like the heat feels really good. And like you just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of zone out and then I don't pay attention and it burns me. WL Steam purchase. Thanks for the 16. What is this? Wait a minute. No, that was my purchase. That was me. That was me buying. I bought something. That was me spending money.
Hey, Megan, thank you for donating to whatever business is out there.
That was me buying video games yesterday. So I got Mary. Okay, Mary on Cash App. All right, let's go over a couple of these before I get really far behind. Jada, thanks for the 5. Sung in sing-song LMNOP voice, just because I watch your live streams doesn't make me a stalker. Oh, well, now you're going to make me do it. Why do you make me do these things?
And just because I watch a video or parts of a video doesn't mean I'm a stalker.
All right. And Rickles64, thanks for the 5. Love the TLDR part 1. Can't wait for the next part. Cool. I'm glad you guys are liking it. I've gotten a lot of good feedback, so that's fun. Suzanne 7IB Callie, thanks for the 10. Celery sticks. We all need a little cushion, Megan. Love ya. Celery sticks. I've got more than my fair share of cushion. Okay. Joan Sclafani, thanks for the 2. Breadsticks. Rickle 60. Right, sure. Rickle 64 became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den. It's weird in here, but I appreciate you and you'll get used to it. The OG Carol, thanks to the 20. Thank you, Megan and Tug, for all the laughs and being here for us to take our minds off our life issues. I miss Jeff, but you keep his spirit alive. Thanks again. Aw. A bunch of people got their sweatshirts today, their Legal Vices sweatshirts, and I'm hoping that I got mine today too. Flux got hers, and I heard from somebody else that they got theirs, and I think we all ordered them at the same time. So I'm excited that maybe I got mine too. I had a rough day today, man. I was at the gym and like I started crying at the gym. That is so embarrassing. I don't even know why. I mean, I know why, but I don't know what it was that triggered it. It's just embarrassing. Grief is embarrassing. And I'm hoping that it will stop. But I don't know. Slug Entertainment, thanks for the 2. Longer, you say? Bet. As long as it's not shorter, I'm fine with it. Teresa Finn Writer Chick, thanks for the 5. Love the TLDR. Can you do one for my life? I'm a bit confused about what's going on there. Here's breadstick money. Eat your hearts out, haters. That's funny. Mama Lori gifted 5 Megan Fox memberships. And welcome to the Fox Den, all of you who got them. I think Rogue Mama got one too, along with Flux, which is a lot of fun. Patricia Cerny, thanks for the 10. In the thumbnail case, can the defendants refuse the dismissal like Clayton refused Owens? I don't think they can refuse the dismissal, but I think they have the right to file for sanctions. I don't see how that wouldn't be allowed.
They can definitely file for sanctions for that.
Yeah.
And I had a DUI guy seemed a little on the he told them, he was like, if you go forward with this, you go with vexatious litigation, you waste my time, I will sue you for it. So it's not like it should be a surprise to anyone. Yeah,
it shouldn't be. Liz F, thanks for the 2. Can you please play the song Bruce, Bruce, Bruce? If you remind me on the way out, I'll play it as an outro. Sure. I haven't played that in a while.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
Green Veggie Beast, thanks for the 10. Party. Did I hear party? I'm up for a party. And Farber Frederick, thanks for the 20. Inaudible.
I like
So,
the inaudible in there.
thanks for the 2. Megan, will you stream the Trump inauguration? Maybe. I might. I don't know. Sometimes it just depends on what mood I'm in. I might. It sounds like something I might do. If I'm in the mood. We'll see. Radsass67, thanks for the 2. Her ultimate grift is HG. Oh, yeah. And I have proof of that. OB711, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. The entire city of Northport thinks so. OB711, thanks for the 10. These readings are awesome. Tug, kids are perfect. Get those breadsticks. We need them. We have a lot of mouths to feed.
Hey, you were mentioning games, by the way. So I found this game. Yeah, I like it. It's short, it's how the story part of it is, but it's called Shotgun King. It's a story about a chess piece. It's the Black King, right? Just listen to this. It's very short, but I like this. So the Black King had been an extravagant and unpleasant ruler. As the years went by, more and more of his subjects were won over by the White King, who offered them higher wages, generally decent work. They took his castle, his knights. They took even his wife, the queen, abandoned him. Now, before leaving, the last Black bishop came to the Black King and said, "Thou hast been a bad king. Thy reign is still holy. Thou shalt retain a claim over thy subjects' souls forever." So he goes through this whole thing. So the Black King, he was abandoned by all, with not a rook left to his name. All he had left was his prized royal shotgun, the shreds of his dignity and the crowning fires of his prophesied wrath. Ever my undoing was it undone? So essentially, it's a chess game, but they have all the chess pieces, but all you have, you're the Black King. It's you with a shotgun. So you're taking on the other side.
That's funny.
And it's fun. It's you're gonna get random different things that you can boost your player with and stuff. Oh man, but I love it. I'm kind of addicted to it.
That sounds fun.
Oh, it's amazing.
My son loves chess.
I love.
You'll have to
reading.
send me. Where did you find that?
It's on Steam.
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not very expensive. It's just a.
Can
like
you
I said,
play Steam games on Nintendo Switch though?
Some games you can't play them on there, but you can. There are some that it might be on there. I don't know.
I would. That's my son's favorite thing to do is play on the Nintendo Switch, but it seems like the Steam games don't really translate.
Well, that handheld to the Steam is like a Nintendo Switch, except bigger, so it's pretty awesome.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a thing like that.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing you're talking about that you have.
Yeah, when I'm playing here, when I'm playing games now, the one thing that for Christmas I kept talking about was, man, I really want one of those, but they were like almost $600. I was like, oh my god! But everybody I knew got together, and actually that's not terrible. I mean, a Switch these days
I thought they were like $300
something. Yeah. So these players, I mean, they have to have to play the games you play on Steam. You have to have a better processor.
Oh, I see. So it's
it's a little mini laptop basically.
Oh wow,
it's a handheld laptop. So
cool.
Yeah, it's probably better than my laptop, to be honest.
Michael Schmidt, thanks for the 2. Greetings from Germany. Hey, welcome, Germany. So far away. Daramuth did 1 subscription on Rumble. I didn't even know that was a thing. Thank you. Over there on Rumble Ghetto.
I got a thing that just started. So there are Rumble subscriptions now. I forgot about that.
I knew we had Rumble subscriptions, but I didn't know you could gift them.
Yeah, it just started. The gifting is what I mean. Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right. That's awesome. All right. I think we are at.
Yeah, I got really. We're at 7, line 7, The Witness.
And Corn Pop, thanks for the 2 and the super sticker. We'll take a break from super chats there. I'm about halfway through. We are currently at 38.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying where were we on the thing? My bad.
No. I'm taking a break from that. We'll go back to the Depo now, and we'll go back. We'll do super chats in a bit. All right. I do know that he said no to her bringing a tortoise that I'm aware of. I actually think that's not right. I think Jeremy did say yes to her to the tortoise. What he said no about was the donation box, right. Mm-hmm. But I don't. It's not it's not a material error here.
Yeah. I mean, they're discussing that there. He did. He actually said, yeah, you can come. But again, like he noted with that, people were paying to come. So that would be very inappropriate. You know,
Right.
you shouldn't be asking people for more money after they paid to get in the door. You know, and again, it's something that's supposed to, it really celebrates the relationship there. You know, when you look at that, when people come and do a meet and greet or anything like that, it's celebrating not just the channel or whatever, it's celebrating the relationships, and it's celebrating, to me, I look at it as celebrating the people who come, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. But did he say she could attend the half a meal to the grill for free?
From what I was told, he did say that she could attend, but she wanted to, I believe, include a tortoise.
Okay.
And I don't know any more details of that other than that.
Wanted to include a tortoise. Sounds like a bad joke. Sorry.
I know it does.
Yeah. So a grifter and a tortoise walk into
It's like those weirdos who want to bring their dogs everywhere. Like to someone's house. Like, no, you can't bring your dog to my house for a party. What?
Yeah, I knew a guy who used to bring his parrot all the time to stuff. And it was okay, but his parrot, like, it would, you know, that they say random things, but his parrot had a dirty mouth.
Oh no.
It did. It had a dirty mouth. It would it would just say some horrible things sometimes.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, well, one time I went over to it was another friend's house, and my friend brought his parrot, and my friend whose house it was, his grandmother was there, and this parrot kept saying like really bad things, you know.
Oh my God.
It was funny. His grandmother was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna wash that parrot's mouth out and yours for teaching him that." Yeah, it was comedy, but anyway. Do you know that Miss Preston wanted to bring a donation box with her to seek donations from Mr. Hale's donors?
That I heard as well, but I don't have any confirmation on that of that on paper. Like if I have it.
That's actually good with her too. You have to give props to that. She's saying, yeah, I heard that, but I can't confirm that myself.
Yeah.
So she's not going with anything that she herself hasn't seen and can't confirm. That's a smart, that's the journalist side of it. That's the way you should be. Okay. Confirmation on paper. Let's make sure. I ask you what you know. It doesn't matter about.
Yeah. Yes.
So you know that Mr. Hale said it would be okay for Miss Preston to attend a half a meal to the grill event, correct?
Yes.
Do you know whether or not Miss Preston also asked if she could seek donations at the event from Mr. Hale's donors?
From what I understood it to be, because I didn't go into that very much. I didn't know what the case was about at the time. She wanted to have some kind of booth, or I guess a place where she had her section there where she could kind of, I guess, advertise a tortoise rescue and have a tortoise there.
What about a donation box or seeking donations? Do you know anything about that?
I recall hearing something about that, but I can't pinpoint exactly what it was.
Okay, well, that's fine.
To me, it wasn't important at the time, so I didn't document it in my mind or paper, you know?
I understand that too. There are things that's one reason we're going back and putting together everything as well, because there were things, you know, when this first started, it looked like it was going to be two cases, really. We were looking at what was happening in Florida, and we were looking at what was going to go on in Ohio. That was it. Like there wasn't going to be anything else. So if it wasn't relevant to those two things, let's set it all aside. Okay. So if you don't know it, that's where.
No.
All we're seeking, that's fine. Do you know anything about Mr. Hales giving Miss Preston 2 leap pads?
Yes, I do know about that.
How do you know about that? Or tell us what you know.
I think the leap pads from a unit that he had given to the child, and he gave them to her for the child, she said she offered to pay for them, but he gave them to her. That's what I was told.
Okay. She never paid anything for the leap pads, right?
No, according to her, she offered to pay for them, but he gave them to her. That's what she had told me.
All right. So what the point is here that did you know that Mr. Hales told her, quote, "You cannot bring a donation box to half a meal at the grill event."
From what my memory was, there was an incident where that had occurred, and not to bring the tortoise and or the donation box, but I can't pinpoint exactly which one it was because it wasn't to me that significant at the time. So it didn't register with me, but I remember vaguely that having that conversation.
Miss Preston,
Yes.
do you know what Miss Preston's reaction was to Mr. Hales saying no to her?
It seemed like it wasn't a good reaction, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
It
Yep.
wasn't a good reaction.
You can say that again.
I wonder, anytime she's been told no, has there been a good reaction? Yeah,
Yeah, she doesn't respond well to the word no.
apparently, no means you go. I mean, what's up?
No means she's going to accuse you of all kinds of shit.
Exactly. Okay.
It wasn't a positive reaction.
It was a good reaction. It wasn't a positive reaction. Man. I drink for that one. Oh, Lord. That's water, by the way, people. I'm trying to drink some water today.
I'm still on my coffee. I'm on like my second cup of coffee.
I'm trying to put more water into my daily. One of the bad things that I do when I'm streaming is I'm very guilty of not, I'm drinking caffeine, and I'm trying to, so much caffeine on a day. I'm streaming more. I'm doing more online, so I'm trying to set limits and boundaries for myself and be more. But anyway, okay. So all right, do you know that Miss Preston around that time said to Mr. Hales, "You've met your match"?
Yes.
Tell us what you know about that.
I just remember that statement. I remember, I believe it was in a comment or a text, almost like a challenging him statement. That's how I view it.
That's weird, by the way. And in your interviews and discussion with Ms. Preston, did you ever elaborate on that? What did you mean by "you've met your match, Mr. Hales"?
I think she was muscling up.
Sorry about that. I rolled past.
It's okay.
this.
I read
Elaborate
fast.
for us.
We didn't go into it in great detail, so I just remember
You took it up.
I'm muscling up.
Muscling up. So she was now going to start fighting Mr. Hales. Is that how you interpreted it?
Yes, stand her ground kind of a thing, a tone.
Well, in Florida, stand your ground has a very different meaning.
Okay, meaning stand strong and just, muscle up against him.
Okay, but you don't mean stand your ground, protect your property.
No.
Indeed. That is funny because I might say stand your ground too. Hey, this person's talking about standing your ground. Yeah, that does have a very different meaning.
Different meaning in Florida, or Texas.
Yeah.
Or no, Texas is castle doctrine, right?
That's so funny. But I mean, when
what's really funny is that this sentence, these 4 no's, can be read so many different ways. No. No.
That's
No.
true.
No. So many different intonations you could read that with. No.
That is
No.
funny. You could-
No. If you know, no. No.
Well, it's funny. Here, Tennessee is a quote unquote stand your ground state too. You're not required to retreat. Yeah. So it is also. That's why I say again, I don't say these things threateningly or anything else, but I'm like, don't come to my house making threats. I see this stuff happen online a lot. We saw it with Fuentes. Again, I don't really care for him, but what happened to him is awful and insane. And I try to make
Insane.
that clear. Please, I don't want that on me.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with those repercussions because if people threaten, that kind of state. So,
Yeah.
okay. Again, with another okay. Thank you, Randy, by the way. Anytime I feel I need to, do you know, or do you know, no? It's shiny squirrels.
So funny.
Okay, she just wasn't going to hear no and just walk away. Is that fair to say?
Right. She was going to just stay in her position of whatever her position was.
Okay. All right. So did she, at what point, I know she has, you've already testified to this, but at what point did Ms. Preston start saying further negative comments in addition to the Muscle Meeks comment to you about Mr. Hales?
Oh, wait. It started immediately that he was framing her.
Framing her. Huh.
What?
Yeah, well, one by one, what do you mean by framing her? When you say framing her, what do you mean?
Accusing her of things that she wasn't doing.
Did she say anything specific or just say, he's accusing me of things I'm not doing?
Every time something would happen, she would say she didn't do it, and he was creating it. She had me...
Back in 2023?
Yeah. She had me believing that he was purposefully framing her to get her in legal trouble.
Wow. Okay. Are you familiar with a post that Miss Preston made on social media that she said Jeremy Hales only thinks about the size of his junk?
Yes.
Do you ever speak with Miss Preston about that comment?
No, but it was shaming in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah,
but.
There was a but. But yeah, okay. It's funny. I sometimes I forget. Like, you speak a lot faster than I do, so a pause like that for me, that might just be me. You know,
That might just
pausing
be a
my-
pause.
Yeah, I might have just paused. I randomly pause. Yeah, actually, that's a sign. Like, that is from mental health. Like, when you work with clients that can't agree with you on what reality is, you really choose your wording carefully. So I will pause in the middle of something. You might think, man, why pause there? Because I really want to think about what I'm saying. I had clients. I had a rib cracked by a client at one time, where I got hit in the chest. I've been bitten, and many other really fun things.
Lord.
Yeah, lots of fun. So you'll learn, after doing that over a decade, you adjust your habits. Anyway, so okay. Look, another okay when I stopped. Are you familiar with these road signs that were placed around Otter Creek, Florida, which were very harmful and offensive?
I'm familiar. I'm familiar with those.
Tell us everything you know about those.
Well, she's insisting that she didn't write them.
Mr. Manskin.
I'm just going to again say, I really have no idea how this could possibly be relevant because she was certainly not involved in any of that at the time, but go ahead. How is that an objection?
Wait.
Is he objecting or is he just commenting? Just
That's a comment. There is no objection.
there's
in
not
that at
even an
all.
objection.
He doesn't note any legal phrasing that is an objection. Anything. Not only that, but the whole statement doesn't make sense anyway. She wasn't involved in any of that at the time. Involved in any of that? What do you mean?
When he says she, does he mean Shara or his
I'm
client?
thinking he's saying Shara, saying that Shara had no involvement with anything there, but she did. She was
did.
actually around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she had anything
She was
involved
there
in the
before
sign.
Bruce was.
Yeah. And to be clear on that statement, I'm not saying that she had any involvement whatsoever in the signs. I'm saying she was around at that time. Just to make that
Chat
clear.
Are we having a problem? I don't what's going on. The chat's fighting. Do I have to pull this stream over and get the slipper out? Do I need to get the wooden spoon? What's happening in the chat? Is there a problem? Listen, don't derail me, chat. You will regret it. We are only, let me see, what are we at now? 5. We're only 4 super chats away from hitting the goal. I know it says 20 out of 50, but I'm counting all the super chats that I got before then. So let's everyone just pull together and put our bitchiness aside in case we're bitching. I don't even know if that's happening, but I see that there's the chat seems to be having a problem. Get over it. And we're almost at the hair reveal. How much for the chat wants to know how much for Tug's hair reveal?
I do. At this time, I do have long hair. Actually, I have it. It's about. It's past my. Actually, I guess if I had it straightened out, I guess it would be all the way down to my pants. To be honest, in the back.
What?
So it's pretty long. Yeah, my hair is pretty long these days. Yeah. I
did not imagine that.
Yeah. Well, I kept it when I met with clients and everything. I believe if you're telling people to put their lives together, you look the part, clean cut, you dress for success. Like, I always dress the nicest I could. I see a lot of therapists thinking there's nothing wrong with this, but I see a lot of therapists that dress very casually, and for me, I was like, no, I want you, if I'm telling you again, you need to put yourself on a road to recovery and you're working towards something, I should at least reflect that. But yeah, when the back end of that, when I wasn't doing direct care anymore, I was like, who cares? I used to have like really long hair back in my college days and stuff. I had I don't know, I looked very wild at the time.
So funny.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said she's going to make you kiss and make up. The chat. This is a true story. I saw this like on Instagram or something when my kids were little. My girls are only 4 years apart. So they were, they were good little friends when they were little. And then they would get into spats and fights and whatever. And I saw this on Instagram. It was called the our Get Along shirt. And the idea was to put them in a big man's shirt and make them share a shirt, for a few minutes to like their get along shirt. And I thought it was funny and I thought it would make them laugh. So when they were having some kind of like knockdown, drag out fight once, I pulled out one of their dad's shirts and I was like, well, it's time for the get along shirt. And I put it on them and oh my God, did it make it worse? I regretted it so bad. They started crying and screaming and I was like, oh, whoops. Okay. Never mind.
That one went sideways.
It went sideways. Yeah. I thought it would make them laugh and forget about it, I mean, because that's a funny thing. But nope. That did not work for my children. Nope. Only ever did that one time.
Well,
God.
The one thing I hate, I realize not everybody's going to get along. I get that. I very much do. There are people I don't like. But, remember, when we cover things, we don't just cover cases. There's always a point to something. We're working toward a goal. And the problem with any online movement is they always fall apart, just like in real life. All this stuff falls apart and it eats itself from within. If people don't like each other, we can avoid each other. We don't have to fight. And again, I mean, come on. I know sometimes that's not possible, but I wish we could hold things together. Like I've seen that with every single thing that's ever happened. There's actually studies on that, and not in the internet, but any type of movement that's happened. That big Wall Street one, I can't remember what the fuck was the name of that?
Oh, yeah, the 99% thing.
Yeah, so there was actually studies on that. Some very interesting studies on that. And one of the problems that it had was it eating itself from within. And again, it has there's terminology, scientific terminology for that that's a lot better at it. But I don't know. Like I said, one of the things we're looking at here is making sure that people get justice. We talk about false accusations. That's a theme in a lot of stuff that we know. We're trying also to we challenge issues that come up at courtrooms. All of that. I mean, look at what happened with the Grudge Judge.
One of you, and we want you here, and we want you having fun and not fighting with one another. We want you to have fun. So you can always block one another. You're not going to get along with everybody. So you block them and you move on. But I know what'll make everybody feel better. We hit the goal. So guess what? It's curl reveal. Now they look weird. I'm gonna, oh, maybe it doesn't. It did dry kind of nice. Okay. It's not as weird as it looked earlier. This is a nice surprise.
This is going to look very weird, guys.
I thought it was going to look weird, but I think I managed to fix it. It's still not all the way dry, or I would take the clip out because the roots are still, the roots are dry. See, I put a clip in there to dry so that there gets some volume on the top. It's still a little damp, but yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. I dry with a, what do you call it? A diffuser. I don't usually air dry because it doesn't get nice and curly, but so that's why I was late to the stream, because I was giving it a good 15 to 20 minutes so that it wouldn't be like blah. So it's not bad, right? It's not bad. It's okay. Was it worth the super chatting for you? My hair makes everyone feel bad. And by the way, Dave Neal is giving me a run for my money for best hair on YouTube. Have you seen his hair recently?
No.
Oh,
I haven't. I have to look now.
Gee, he's growing it out and it looks amazing. He's having like a real Pantene moment. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I have to do something extra to get my title back because, yeah, his hair is looking very lush. And
Dave is a pretty man, I will say. He's a pretty man, you know.
Yeah.
He is. I mean,
he's funny.
He's
funny. He cracks me up.
Yep. But
you'll have to go check out his latest videos.
I'm gonna have to look at it. It's gonna be very pretty hair. Yeah, that whole case is nuts too. One day we're gonna have to sit down and
we have to do a catch up on that case, because what's happening right now with the Redditor and it is crazy. Jingy is going after a Redditor, and now the court
random Redditor
said yes to his subpoena and to dox a Redditor.
Reddit has allowed that. That's the most messed up part of it. Okay, so we saw back in the Heard trial, again, this was huge news. That's why I reflect back to it. We saw Heard try to expose the names of over 200 people on Twitter, and they made a huge deal out of it. You know, and you've got to remember the amount of money that was behind that. We're finding out, 2 insurance companies, again, a certain very rich person had their money thrown into that as well. So there's a lot of money behind it, but Twitter fought. They were the place that fought it. Forget anything but Depp or anything. The point was, and again, this was pre-Rocket Man. This was old Twitter, which you wouldn't think would stand up like they did, but they fought tooth and nail, and it was denied. They made sure to get it denied. Reddit, it looks like just roll. They didn't do anything. They didn't say anything about it. Now, maybe they will on the back end after something comes up as subpoena. Maybe they'll argue that, but
I hope they do. And I don't have enough information to know if Reddit has filed a response or anything. I just know that the judge granted the subpoena. I think they still have a chance to respond to it. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it. But we do have to do a catch-up stream on the Tonsil twins because so much has happened. So we're going to have to do that soon.
They need to do something about that because that's ridiculous. People should be able to allow. I realize that when we look at the subject of anonymity online, there are people that want to do ugly things behind an anonymous platform. But at the same time, you look at how people go after folks for the smallest things. Like if you disagree on something, they will ruin your life. They will go after your families and stuff. And people don't want that. They just want to be able to voice their opinions online. And to have that. And Yingers he's nuts, man. He's freaking nuts.
Tell you what, if Reddit bows down to this and actually releases the information of that Redditor, who, by the way, apologized for what he thinks is a copyright violation and altered what he or she wrote, if they give up her or his information to him so that he can sue this person, I will never use Reddit again, ever. Never.
I think that it needs to be a huge deal anyway. And that needs to be something that's brought up everywhere because it goes beyond that case. It goes to this idea of, again, anonymity. And again, this person has already made corrections.
And was not aware. That person was not aware that it could be a copyright violation to write a description of someone's video. And it is a very obscure copyright law that no one would know. And the idea that he doesn't just give a warning, no warning at all. No, did not ask Reddit to just take it down, did not ask the person to, do something else or, to fix it in any way. He went straight to violence. That is so
He's
wrong.
Not monetized. He's not monetized in any way, shape, or form. So how do you claim monetary damages?
I don't know. I don't think that he will win it, but I think that he can cause this person a whole lot of trouble, which is what he wants to do. He's vexatious.
Well, sir,
And
ma'am, when they come after you, you will not be standing alone. That has nothing to do. Again, this is a supposed free speech lawyer that
isn't that
is still
unbelievable?
talking about. Yes, but there's so many of them that are like this. You know, there's so many of them that stand up on this platform of free speech. I won't even limit it to them. I mean, the stuff that's going on Twitter right now is nuts. You know, we haven't talked about that. Twitter already has this thing. Everybody talks about Twitter.
We can't talk about it. I'm on Twitter right now. Don't get me blue checked.
Well, let's just say there are problems then. Right?
There are problems that we can talk about later when we're not on Twitter.
Oh, that makes me mad though. Yeah, I'll talk about it myself when I'm not on the platform where somebody could be censored on a quote unquote free speech platform. It disgusts me.
I think there's about 200 people watching on Twitter right now. I'm still testing it. I'm still testing it to see if it works or not. So I do want to address this comment that I just saw pop up. CJ Lorraine says, my problem with Shara is that she sat on information that would have helped Jeremy. If she were a real journalist, she would have come forward and covered both sides. That's the reason I'm not 100%. I want to take a little bit of an issue with this to say that she didn't sit on, she did come forward when she came across information that confirmed to her that she had been fed total crap. So the thing that she came forward about and the thing that turned her, and she came forward almost immediately when it happened, was the 911 phone call that confirmed for her that the child was in physical danger. She wasn't sure until that phone call when Lynette threatened to spank the child in the mouth. Until then, she had been listening to Lynette, being gaslighted about being told that she's never hit her child ever. And that'll come up in this deposition. And that is the thing that made her see that she was being lied to. And that just happened. And he came forward almost immediately after that.
I wonder about this too. Okay. You put yourself in Shara's shoes. She's hearing some of this stuff that are very real threats. She's hearing about how somebody, again, according to her, that they're talking about getting a hitman. Now, you've seen how the Levy County, how they react to stuff. You've seen their version of justice. That puts you in a really weird predicament. You know, do you, you're like, yo, I'm done with this. I got to walk away. Or do you speak up? I know everybody is probably like, yeah, I would. But I mean, really, you got kids and stuff. Well, what do you do in that situation? How do you go about this? You know, and she finally got to the point where she did. She talked about everything. And yeah, it took her a hot minute. So I think
it took her a while, but she also, and she'll talk about it in this deposition, she received a threatening letter at her home. These people were threatening her, telling her not to talk, and that if she did talk, that there would be consequences.
An eye for an
eye. Threatening lawsuits. A lawyer is threatening her. I don't think someone like her, and she'll get into it in the depo, she had to really put herself on the line to come forward. Well, so I'm just not going to criticize her for sitting on anything. I'm just not, because I think that it would have been reasonable for her to stay quiet because she has her own family to worry about and she has her own life to worry about. And she is genuinely concerned these people are going to hurt her. So I wouldn't have blamed her if she stayed quiet, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't.
Lawfare works very well too. Look how many people stopped touching this case at all. There are people that I still I've seen comment about, I don't want to get near that because it's messy, it's ugly, and they're afraid they're going to be dragged into some vexatious litigation.
And I understand that. Again, I also give them a pass on that. I'm not criticizing anybody who dropped this case and didn't want to cover it anymore because you don't know what their personal situation is and you don't know what kind of, you just don't know. It just goes to show that intimidation tactics and lawfare really works to silence people.
Well, I've had talks with Megan, like for myself. I personally, beyond the nuisance and everything else of that, it doesn't matter if you know, like I know something comes up like that, I can ask for it. And I would ask because it would be very expensive to go out, pick up a lawyer. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars. And if it drags out, you may be talking 6 figures or more. It gets crazy.
Yeah.
And what normal person can just go in? Look at Shara's platform and look at where she was at the time when these people were quote unquote helping her. Where did they get her to? 33 subscribers, you know, and most people at that time, they would have been like, who cares, you know? And that's a sad reality. Like she would have been looking at something just on that front. A lot of other people that I respect have walked away from talking about this. And with Shara, I do. And yeah, there's also other pieces in this too. I don't think you put together how insane some of this stuff is until you start looking, you know, as we start to look back at certain things that happen and we put them together, we see more and more, you know, this building toward just craziness. You know, you see the public statements, but then you start seeing the private statements and more. I don't know. But yeah, I think Shara did a good thing. Like Jeremy said, you know, he had to give her props for it.
Well, and like Jody, who says, some of us have watched Shara's behavior toward Jeremy for nearly 2 years. It's hard to trust that this new Shara won't flip-flop again. Right. Okay, but again, Jeremy went after her too. Remember, they were going after each other, right? So there's a little bit, and he's forgiven her and moved on. So I think you guys can do the same, and also realize that misunderstandings happen. I'm not taking it against Shara for criticizing me or making jokes about me, or she's not holding it against me that I went after her, because we find ourselves on the same, with the same idea of what's going on here. And that's easy to forgive. It's totally easy to forgive the elbows in the heat of battle. So
yeah, I've got a raider, but I do want to mention something right after this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to add to that. What are you doing now? What are you saying?
I like Christmas, but we didn't have a house taken away for Christmas.
Yeah, well, it is day, right? Actually, do you want to go look at the decorations before, because we'll be taking them down in a few days. They're gonna have to come in.
Only the Christmas tree had decorations, not the house.
Yeah, those little gnomes and stuff. Those aren't regular decorations. They aren't staying out. Those little things. No way.
And Mom has a lot of gnomes.
Those gnomes are crazy. Hey, will you go upstairs, though, baby? And you go have fun. Go play with your Play-Doh car, or what is that thing? It's a delivery bike, right?
Yeah, the delivery bike, Play-Doh car, pizza maker.
Well, play with it in your room, though. Don't get near the steps or anything like crazy like that, okay? You drive it around like you had it up there, and, you know. Yeah, another thing on the flip-flopping issue is Shara, we're not talking about posts on social media anymore. She went in and she spoke to the court on records. There were severe penalties for going in and then deciding later on, well, about that. No, that's not going to happen. Like, this is her court record. And you don't have to trust anybody. You don't trust them at all. You just listen to what she's saying. You look at the proof that she has shown. There is no way to deny that stuff. She has put it out there. She has made sure. And, you know, like she said, she's not looking at Jeremy's side or Preston's side. She's just looking at where the truth goes, and she's putting it out there. She's not even making commentary when she's putting out videos. She's just arranging it to show you, like, this is the discussion that happened there. Oh, look, this is a group that was arranged for a live stream behind the scene. By the way, where did that live stream go? So, I mean, you trust the information. That's all you have to do. As far as the person, over time, you'll get a feel for them and what they represent. And I personally think I have a feel. I'm not a very trusting person either. I do understand that. But seeing everything with Shara, seeing everything that went on behind the scenes, I very much feel that she was dealing with a lot that we did not know about.
Yes, a lot. Let's get to the bottom of this page, and then I think we'll break and do super chats, and then call it a day, because I'm going to be redirecting you guys over to Nick Starro stream that starts at 4. Okay. He's doing I think he's doing a I forget what he's doing, but I know I'm going to be. But it's some kind of celebration stream, and I don't remember what. He's doing something that I promised I would redirect you guys over there at 4:00. I think he's doing one of his fun streams. I think he might be doing like a either drinking or he asked me to come by, and I'm going to probably for a few minutes before I have to go to my neighborhood party.
Actually,
but chat again,
this.
those of you in chat, everybody needs to take a chill pill and calm down. Stop fighting, for fuck's sake. I love you guys, but quit fighting. All right.
Let's just read this statement, and then this starts to get into something else. So,
okay.
Well, because this is about the Bruce statement that we.
Yeah, we can probably right.
Yeah.
Let's just.
So this is him responding to Bruce. He's saying that is a speaking objection to a witness, and I'm going to ask you, don't do that again. It's highly relevant. It's part of the complaint, which I'm showing on the screen. If this happens again, I will actually call the magistrate. That's really inappropriate, counsel. So he's telling him right there, you better not do that again. Otherwise, we can get the magistrate involved.
Yep.
It is.
And interestingly, he pipes right down again.
Yeah. I just the description of everything that went on with him leaving. I've never heard of a lawyer doing some of this stuff. I've never heard somebody, complaining about this is going to go too long. Well, I've got to go pick up, kids or whatever during depo. Like this is a very important deposition that's happening. This is one that could cause Lynette Preston and John Cook some real problems.
Yeah.
And you would think he would want to try to take this apart, attack credibility, attack whatever he could, but no.
Yep. Right. You would think so. All right, I'm going to hit these super chats, and if you need to go, you can jump.
I'm good for this minute.
All right, cool. All right, we left off at the super sticker from Corn Pop, I think. Patty Oxhausen, thanks for the 5 breadstick money. Jason, thanks to haircut money. That's so funny. Susan Weehee, thanks for the 2 super sticker. Appreciate you. Joan Sclafani, thanks for the $20 super sticker. Appreciate you. And Rebel Bird, thanks for the 10. My condolences on the curl scissor shock. Been there, done that. It's true. It's so weird, but it's true. When you get curly hair cut, it takes several days for it to figure out its new pattern. It doesn't like it. It's like, ugh. Like, where are we now? We're missing pieces, It's funny. And so it looks a little wonky for a couple of days. And it's weird. I don't know what causes that, but it just does. It's like it has memory. Your hair has memory. Hair memory. It's a real thing. Mozilla's Realm, thanks for the $10 money. Appreciate you. Stephen Crater, thanks for the $1. Stephen, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you, buddy. Taz, thanks for the 2. Proof and facts matter. Love and hugs. I have my favorites. Thanks for the 99 cents. Willie Borzash, thanks for the Canadian 20. Breadstick money. This case makes me want to drink. Insane.
Yes.
I know. Carrie Larkin, thanks for the 2. Breadstick money. Yeah, I agree. Mel Klomp, 5. Thanks for the 5. You both are fabulous. Well, you're fabulous too. Thanks for being here, Mel. And Diane Gladstone, thanks for the 2. Curly haired girls unite. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. You just don't understand unless you have to go through it. Kim Boyko, thanks for the 5. I have the bucket and the hay bubbles blow me, and also the squeeze portalette they have available. There's a squeeze portalette.
Yeah, the Porto. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, like a stress ball?
Like a stress doll. Yeah.
Oh
It's
God,
like a little Porto. Yeah, those are cool too. I like them.
PDW, thanks for the 20 for possible trip to Florida or just breadsticks. Thank you. K-Dubs gifted 10 Megan Fox memberships. Welcome to the Fox Den, all of you who got those. It's weird here. There's strange screeching animals sometimes. It's weird. You'll get used to it. DTG 1032, thanks for the 5. Longtime listener, first time donator. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. Joan Feather became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den, Joan. You'll like it in here. Most of the time we're not fighting. Even when we are fighting, it's still kind of fun. Shane Cook, member for 3 months. Greetings from Wales. I often wonder this about the Welsh people. We don't understand a word they're saying. How do they understand us? Anybody ever think that? Like,
Well,
Welsh.
that's the thing. I always wonder if people like listening to some of the accents, Southern, whatever. I wonder how that comes across, because other accents, yeah, I can't understand it all.
Welsh people, man, it's almost as bad as Scottish accent. Like heavy brogue to me is like, oh
There's
God.
some British accents. I'm like, what now? What? And it's slang. Some of the slang, like I'll watch like British crime shows, especially. And I'm like, I don't understand that slang. Like, what does that mean?
I know.
Yeah.
I always have to turn the subtitles on too.
I need a translator for my subtitles sometimes. Like,
Well, I know Welsh people also speak English. It's just that their accents are so thick. I wonder if it's as hard for them to understand me as it is for me to understand them, even when they're speaking English. I just find it difficult. Jessica Turner became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den, Jessica. It's weird here, but if you do get rage quitty, make sure that you leave a hilarious rage quit message for me on your way out, okay? But I don't think you will. I think you'll stay. I think you'll like it. Mistrust Loon, thanks for the 5 for the goal, and to piss off the haters, breadstick money. Yeah, love that. Centipats, thanks for the 6. Whatever that is, €1, I think. Puzzled Puzzler, thanks to the 5. Getting money from people may not be illegal, but not reporting it is unearned income. She keeps writing 0 on forums for claiming income hardship. Yeah, I know. But I mean, do we think that the IRS is going to care? I don't. I don't think that she's ever going
to. Who is reporting? Because that money's going to another person. That's got to. I don't know.
She keeps, submitting these indigent forms to the court and like leaving off all of this gifted stuff. But come on. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever going to care.
Money, and we're not talking like a couple of bucks here. Like we're talking
at this
about
point, it could be
money.
Tens of thousands. We don't know because there's no actual record of it, and it's being gathered by third parties. So, I mean, who knows? Sent Pats, thanks for the 249. Appreciate that. Rodney Condon, thanks for the Australian 10. Hello from Oz, home recovering from knee replacement. Oh, that's so brutal of a recovery. Look forward to these readings. Keep up the great work, Megan and Tug. I'm so sorry that you're recovering from that, but I'm glad it's over, and I hope that your recovery goes well and quickly and that you're back on your feet again in no time. Kieran63, thanks for the 5. You guys are educational and funny. Love watching. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Poor Marine, thanks for the 5. Let's see that hair. It's funny. Julie Youngblood, thanks for the 2. S. Shine, thanks for the 5. Show the curls. Audrey Little gifted 1 Megan Fox membership. Welcome, whoever got that, to the Fox Den. And Audrey, thank you so much for donating that. Stacy R, thanks for the 2. Oh, for fuck's sake, turn the camera on, lady. I did. Iowa Girl, thanks for the 10. Haircut time reveal, please. This is so funny. You guys are so invested in my hair, which is good because I am too. Chris W, New Zealand, thanks for the 5. Breadstick money. Rugu Mama, thanks for the 2. Corn Pop Lives Matter. Dwayne Norval, thanks for the 2. Just because I love this channel. K-Dubs, thanks to the 5. Have you seen Dave's hair from old stand-up? It's shoulder length. I have seen it when it was a little longer, like from years ago, but I got used to seeing him with shorter hair. But now that it's growing out again, I'm like, dang, Dave, he's got good hair. It's like thick and shiny. I got to find out what products he's using. Send Pads, thanks for the $5.99. This is perfect timing for European watchers. It's currently, oh God, I can't read military time. What's 2110? What even is that? I don't even know what time that is.
Subtract 3 hours from 21. Subtract it from 3 hours from midnight.
Yes.
Megan, she said yes. You said Megan Fox. She said yes. I told her I'd muted. I was like, hey, I'm on another channel right now. And she was like, what channel? And I said, Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Megan Fox.
Yeah.
So cute.
Oh, you like saying Megan Fox? No. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, I'm going to let you
currently, I don't know. I can't figure out what time that is. In France, I love that you're watching from France, and I probably butchered your name. I said Saint Pats, and if you're French, that's probably like, no, I'm not even going to make a guess. I can't even guess. Love you guys. Get some baguettes or croissant. I know how to say that, at least. I do like croissant. All right. Rugu Mama, thanks for the 5. People who have never lived with someone like Lynette have no idea how manipulative they are. They will gaslight you into believing the sky is green. And we have heard from many of Lynette's family members, including Ashley, Samantha, children who spent time with her, who were raised by her for a while. And yeah, they said very similar things. Something to bark about. Thanks for the 2. Super sticker. Appreciate you. Shane Cook, thanks for the 2. What the hell does that say? That's got to be Welsh. Nadolig Lawen. Oh, God.
I don't know how to go with that.
Natalig Lawen. That's how I would say that.
I don't know. I'm not saying any foreign thing. I don't know what
No,
it
Tug,
says.
come on, say it. Say it.
No,
Sound
God
it
knows
out.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. But
that could be the worst
true.
thing you could ever say.
That's true. Who knows?
Yeah,
We don't know
I
what
don't
it
know
means.
what it is.
K-Dubs, thanks for the 10. Mods are working hard today. Yeah, they are. All right, and then when there's a couple of Cash Apps, let me make sure I have to check Rumble, make sure I don't miss Rumble. I'm always forgetting the poor ghetto over there. And for some reason, StreamYard doesn't import Rumble rants. They import regular chats, but not Rumble rants, which is not good. Okay, Rumble's good. Looks like I do have a Cash App here. Let's see. Let's get to that. Richard cares that I need a massage. And thank you, Richard, so much for sending me 2 on Cash App. There's no message with it, but I appreciate you. And we have reached the end. Thank you for meeting the goal today, folks. Thanks for being here. You could be doing anything else on your Saturday, but you're here with us, and I appreciate that. And I'm going to get to the studio and redirect you guys over to Nick Starro, and I'll tell you what he's doing because his thing should be up now so that I know what kind of stream it is. I know he told me, but I have the worst memory, you guys. The worst. Nicholas. Oh, shoot. That's not what the name of his channel is. What is the name of his channel?
I can't remember.
Trial Watch. It's not coming up. Why isn't it coming up?
I run into that a lot. I have to actually go. And
there it is.
I have to look on Twitter sometimes, like Shizzy or other people. I have to look for their channels on, to find it there and then link it from there. That's so crazy.
Okay, it is his 2nd anniversary griftathon. That's why I knew it was a celebration. So I'm going to send you guys over there. He starts at 4 p.m. So you have a few minutes to take a bathroom break, get some coffee, get a drink or whatever, and get ready for the 2nd anniversary of Nicholas's channel. And he's going to do a griftathon with spinning the wheel. It's going to be hilarious, I'm sure.
If you raid, tell them that Megan and Tug sent you just I always like telling people where they give, just to give them a little love and be like, yo, this is where it came from.
Yeah, please let him know when you get over there that we sent you. And I am going to, you said somebody had paid me for Bruce. So let me find that. Bruce. Where are you? Shoot, which one is it? Is it remastered or is it the final? I don't remember which one it was. Let's see, which one's the most recent one?
Yeah, it's that one. I have no idea.
I have to make sure. I think it's the most recent one. I edited it for some reason and I don't remember why. Oh my gosh. Why is this so difficult? Let's watch Megan struggle with her computer. List? Where are the details? There we go. Bruce. Date created. Yeah, we'll go with this one. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you later. When do we come? Are you going to be streaming tonight, Tug?
Well, I'm going to ask you something about that when we end, and then I'll
okay.
Note. Maybe. So keep an eye out for it. If I decide to, I'll be putting up a notification in the next, hour. So.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. See you later.
If you're late to call the truce, you think you're tough, bro. Please, you seize your tease, you act with me. Your only friends are wrecked with fleas. What the hell's is your problem? You creepy crawling cook, menace to your profession, leprechaun with no luck. Plotting tribulation, witness intimidation. Good luck explaining that in Fed litigation. It's too late to call a truce. You think you're tough? Oh please, you seize, you tease, you act with me. Your only friends are wet with fleas. What the hell's is your problem? You creepy crawling cook, menace to your profession, leprechaun with no luck. Plotting tribulation, witness intimidation. Good luck explaining that in Fed litigation. It's too late to call a truce. You think you're tough? Oh please, you seize, you tease, you act with me. Your only friends are whacked with fleas. Knocking Northport folks with threats blow smoke, scaring boomers like a jerk. No wonder you're out of work. What an embarrassment. Lies and harassment, it's all desperation. Gotta silence opposition. What a joke. Witness intimidation. Silence that opposition. Witness intimidation. Yo bro, how low can you go?
You're a real sorry case, honey. Think about your own self. That's all you think about. Bruce, 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 Bruce. You're the fucking asshole, you jerk. I hate your guts.